Now, here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
It's hump day, and we got a big inland sports show planned for you. We're coming out swinging, Jeff. Last night.
Oh, I'm fighting.
Here's what I do. I know you get all your sports news from TMZ.
Oh yeah, I get all of my news, not sports news.
Well, everything.
All of it.
So I get on Twitter. That's where I go hang out. That's where I hang out late at night. Late at night, you know what I mean? Like some of you guys are hanging out down at the plaza, maybe downtown in the Riv. I hang out on Twitter at night. Go strolling down those dark alleys on Twitter. And I see Yasiel Puig is trending on Twitter. Anytime someone is trending on Twitter late at night, I'm like, oh boy, what happened? You know what I mean? Usually it's not good, right? Anything that happens late at night usually is not good.
No.
Unless you're Greg Hollick, because he's a big-time baller. He's hanging out at the beach and clubs and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's very hip.
But usually if you're out late at night, things don't go very well. So it's late at night, getting in my bed, I get on Twitter, and there he is, trending #1 in the world. I don't know if in the world, but at least on my Twitter. Yasiel Puig. Yasiel Puig got into a brawl with Nick Hundley, Giants catcher, last night. It spilled all over the ravine. It was everywhere. Guys charging onto the field. Did you see it, and what did you think of it?
I thought Hundley started the whole damn thing.
Here's my takeaway. Usually when you're at bat, you probably get one good pitch, right?
Yes, that's about
like from
it.
the pitcher. You got to wait and get that one pitch you're looking for. I think Puig got it, and he knew he kind of screwed up. Like, he's like, man, I should have hit that one out of the park. And he kind of tossed his bat and grabbed it forcefully. I think almost frustrated with himself. Had nothing to do with the Giants. Now, we don't know what Nick Hundley said, but he was having some words behind the plate with Yasiel Puig, and all of a sudden, here we go. And now everyone's making fun of Yasiel Puig because, A, he tried to slap Nick Hundley. Not hit him. He didn't close his fist, but he was throwing hands. Open-handed slap. Plus, hey, guys, Nick Hundley's a catcher. He had a catcher's mask on. So Yasiel Puig could have broke his hand in the process of slapping another man. Would you slap another man? At least close your hand, man.
No.
Fist up, right?
On the baseball field, I wouldn't slap anybody with a mask. But there's a few people, though, that, I'd like to just slap and take out in the back in the parking lot and slap them around. Open-fisted.
But close your hand, right? I mean, like,
no!
slap him.
I'm going to slap him and make him look stupid like a little kid. Slap him around. But no, you know what? It all started from the night before. Do you know this?
No, what happened the night before?
Well, Hundley's the catcher. And apparently, Baumgartner and Puig have had issues in the past. The day before, they were talking smack to each other. And this kind of led to the whole thing. And now, they're looking for a fight, my friend. They're looking for a 3 o'clock high fight. And Bruce Bochy, of course, came back and said, I couldn't be prouder of my team. What happened Monday night and then coming back tonight, you're living on the edge, scoring one run at a time. That makes it tougher on the road, but we fought back, and this is a huge win for us. We fought.
And that's the thing, because the Giants did come back, and they beat the Dodgers 2-1. The bullpen blew it again, and this time, it was Kenta Maeda. Maeda was on late in the game in the 9th inning, and he couldn't hold it.
Yeah, 5 in a row, Pep. The wheels are falling off.
Just saying it like I'm short of breath. I was like,
oh, you remember
like
what happened?
Crazy.
Remember the first 2 games of the year was against?
Los Gigantes.
Yes, it
Joe
was.
Panic.
Joe Panic hit the panic button twice on the Dodgers, and right now they've lost 5 in a row, and now they sit at 3rd place in the National League West.
So Yasiel Puig is slapping guys. They lose another one to the Giants. The bullpen blows it, and now they're in 3rd place. Those are the sirens sounding off all across the Inland Empire. No, we do not have a tsunami coming. There's no natural disaster. It's the Dodgers falling apart right before our very eyes.
Hey,
the sirens across the Inland Empire.
And if they're not careful, the Giants are only 3 games back of the Dodgers. Could be 2 after tonight at 7:10 p.m. They've got to do something. I hate to say it, but the panic button has been hit.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable what's going on, because if you would have said the Dodgers after the trade deadline when they made those moves to kind of bolster the lineup, remember we said, man, I would have liked to see them bring in some bullpen help, some pitchers. right?
Yes,
At the trade
that's all
deadline.
we have talked about. Bring in that extra left-hander.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
An extra
Now,
closer. Do you remember we said on this show maybe they should pick up a second closer? That has bit them in the butt. Hey, here's one other stat I wanted to throw out to you. I texted you this earlier today. The Dodgers and the Angels. What do you think of when you look at the season as a whole for the Angels? What goes through your mind there, Pep? First thought.
this is what I think. The Angels started off the season really hot, and then they tanked. And the Dodgers have kind of been okay all season long. That's my first just like gut impression when you talk about the season as a whole.
So you think, man, the Angels are so much further behind than the Dodgers. Wouldn't that be your first initial thought?
Yes, I would say the Dodgers are absolutely farther ahead than the Halos because here they were making moves at the trade deadline. They feel like they're going to win another National League West championship. 2 weeks ago, I would have said the Dodgers are probably the favorite out of the National League to make it to the World Series. So, yes, I would say the Dodgers are significantly better than the Angels right now.
Well, here's something for you, Pep. And here's something for you, Greg. And here's something for you listeners.
Everyone in the IE, because we love you.
The Angels and the Dodgers records are only 3 games apart.
Now, wait, hold on. The Halos are right around 500. Are they only like a game over 500?
They are 61-60.
Okay.
The Dodgers,
so 61 wins.
Yes.
And what are the Dodgers?
64-57.
Wow.
So they are only 3 more wins in the win column. If they lose 3, then they're virtually the same. That tells
That's
you
crazy.
That's crazy. You look honestly, I looked at that this morning and I just compared the two and I was like, wow, that's pretty shocking. They only have 3 more wins, and yet we're talking about this Dodgers saying that, oh, they're playing well. Okay, let's look at the National League West. Arizona Diamondbacks,
First place.
11 games over 500, only 1 up on Colorado. Then we go to the American League West. You have the Houston Astros are 73-47.
Crazy. Only the Red Sox, I would say only the Red Sox are better than Houston right now.
Guess what is that, 26 games over 500? Pretty incredible. And guess how many games they are up over the Los Angeles Angels?
I'm not even looking, but I'm going to guess 17 games, 15 games?
12 and a half games.
12 and a half.
12 and a half games, and they are above 500. The Texas Rangers, who are in the cellar, are 21 games back. Oakland, 72-48. You put them in the National League West, they are hands down.
Oakland would be running away with the National League West title.
They would be running away with the entire National League. Think about that.
The whole NL.
The entire National League, the Oakland Athletics have a better record than anyone in the National League.
Later in the show, we're going to break down the MLB playoffs. Like if the season ended today, who would get into the playoffs? And you're going to see the American League is stacked compared to the National League right now.
But you even look at it in interleague play, they are dominating the National League. It looks like a minor league system compared to what the American League is throwing up there.
The only good thing about the National League, and we'll go deeper on this, is that
somebody will come out.
Well, they're all so mediocre that it's going to be fun in the last month of the season because we really don't know who's going to win the league, the league titles, the divisions, who's going to be the wild card teams. Like there's so much mediocrity. They're pretty close. There's like a bunch of teams that realistically still have a shot. In the American League, it's the haves and the have-nots. Boston's going to run away.
Hey.
Houston's going to run away. The Yankees are pretty good. The Indians are good. The A's are really good. That's probably your playoff teams right there.
Okay, let's talk about this really quick. Boston, do you know how many games over 500 they are?
Hold on.
This is ridiculous. And they're only 10 games above the next team.
Are they like 40?
No.
How many over 500?
51
Wow,
games.
I sold them short on that one. In fact, there's a possibility they could break the best record in baseball all time. They're on that pace.
It's ridiculous. They're 51 games over 500, but yet the Yankees are 31 games over 500 and sitting in second place 10 games back.
That's what I'm saying. The American League East, top heavy. I'd still say the American League West is the best division in baseball. And this might sound crazy, I would take the Astros and the A's over the Red Sox and Yankees. It's probably West Coast bias. but I would do it.
Well, look at the teams. The Baltimore's absolutely rotten.
Oh, Baltimore's bad.
Toronto's rotten.
Bad.
And Tampa Bay is
They're okay. They're in the middle of the road.
But then
they're the middle class.
Yeah, you go to the Central American League Central. Cleveland pretty good. A little big
Cleveland's
surprise.
pretty good. I mean,
big surprise there.
Cleveland's not going to go down without a fight in the playoffs.
But I would put the American League Central kind of in that same mix with the entire National League. But
yeah,
the American League West, Houston,
and East, yeah.
The world champion Houston Astros are only one game up on the Oakland A's, and they're playing.
It's down to one game.
One game, and they're having a great year. The Houston Astros have lost 5 in a row. The A's have won 4 in a row, and they are the hottest team in baseball. Hands down, not even close.
Man, I love the A's because they don't have household names. They play in a football stadium, for Pete's sake. You know what I mean? There's dirt,
Yes.
Like the dirt end zones, and it all looks weird, and the stadium's old and decrepit.
Great place, though, to watch a game.
It is.
One of my favorites. One of my all-time favorite places to go.
I remember going to Oakland A's games as a kid. They're always kind of the other team. I know down here, like if you said, this is not a slight to the Halos, but if you said, who's the dominant baseball team in Southern California in terms of like popularity and who the fans like, it's the Dodgers, right?
Of course.
But yeah, there's the Angels. Well, up north, it was always the Giants. And then there was the A's on the side.
But I think the truer baseball fans, the guys are A's fans. I played basketball up in Oakland, and I used to go to a lot of those games. We used to go watch the Seattle Mariners when Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. played
on the
same team, and we sat out in left field. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to name drop here. You're going to laugh. David Robinson, myself, and about 4 other basketball players at Cal.
Wait, hold on. The
Admiral.
David Robinson, a Hall of Famer of the San Antonio Spurs.
He was stationed in Alameda. He had already played at Navy. He worked out with the Cal basketball team when he was
You went to an A's game with the Admiral.
I went with the Admiral, yes.
Did we all hear this?
No, but here's what we did.
Okay.
So he was the National Wooden Award winner. Pretty popular, pretty famous.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, if I remember, when he was coming out of the Navy, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. That's why they called him an Admiral.
Like in his whole regalia, yeah.
Well, he was up in Alameda, and we were yelling at the Griffey boys as loud as we could. Well, Ken Griffey Sr. realized it was David Robinson that was heckling him, and he came over and talked to us all. It was like 8 basketball players and David Robinson, and he came over and talked to us. It was one of the best times I've ever had going to an A's game. The best.
The Admiral.
But what a great place you can go to Oakland Alameda Coliseum, I guess they call it.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and enjoy a game on an afternoon. You get off the BART, walk
get good
over.
seats. Nobody's going to those games.
No, but what a fantastic time to go. Yeah, American League, I love it. I've always loved the Bay Area baseball. And right now, they're the best team in baseball.
No, you just beat I got an autograph from the nasty boy Norm Charlton story.
No, I just one-upped you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Would you like to go over your Norm Charlton?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you went to a game with the Admiral. I
did.
Doesn't matter.
Really nice guy. You know what his waist was?
His waist?
The Admiral's waist.
He's a real skinny guy. I know that.
Yeah, well, remember, his shoulders are huge.
Yes.
Enormous.
But his waist.
His waist at the time when he played was 32 inches. I'm like 40 plus now. I mean, but 32, 7'1", 32-inch waist.
Little guy.
Biggest shoulders you've ever seen. Stud.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. I name dropped again.
It's what you do best.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. It's right there off the 215 freeway. Just get off on Alessandro Boulevard. Every 3,000 or 5,000 miles, whatever the case may be, get your oil change. You got to do it anyways. Might as well make it an enjoyable experience. Great customer service, low prices. They'll get you in and out so you can get on with all the important things in your life. Spoiled
Quick Quality Oil Change. Let's continue our Inland Sports headlines here. Julio Urias on the mound tonight in the coop, right? Lone Mark Field.
Lone Mark, greatest place in the world.
Second rehab assignment here with the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Hopefully he can come back to the Dodgers. I would say bullpen. I almost said rotation, but how about bullpen? Maybe he could be the closer. I'd like to see that.
Turn him into a closer. He's limited pitch count. Put him in now. We need him.
Also for the Quakes, Greg Holla heard it. I heard it too. Christian Santana, the walk-off grand slam as the Quakes won last night, 13-9 against Lake Elsinore. You don't see very many of those. A walk-off grand slam to end it.
And we saw it the other day with the Dodgers.
They had a grand slam to end it?
Yeah.
Was it over the weekend?
Yeah.
Against
Saturday night. forget what it was. I was at the Quakes game and they hit it off, and I was like, "Oh, that's bad." Turned it off.
Oh, you mean the Quakes?
No, the Dodgers.
The Dodgers?
The Dodgers.
Who did they play Saturday
It was
night?
a walk-off. Who did they lose to Saturday?
Oh, Jeff.
I'm sorry, but they did.
I'll
tell you what.
Jeez. Hey, on a more serious note, while you look up that stat, so
That was against the Rockies.
against the Rocks.
The Rocks. Yeah, it was. The Rockies.
All right.
5-4. Okay. Go ahead.
On a serious note here, so we knew that Mike Trout had left the Angels for a family matter, right?
That's true.
He's on the disabled list right now anyways with that wrist injury, but he's able to come off the DL as early as tomorrow. Now we found out today that what they called family matter was his brother-in-law, Aaron Cox, passed away. Come to find out, Aaron Cox was a pitcher for the Inland Empire 66ers this year. So Mike Trout's wife's brother is the one who passed away. We don't know. I hate to even speculate. We don't know the details. All we know is it was kind of like a family emergency. They did not see this coming.
24 years old, played 11 games for the 66ers this year.
Yeah, I looked him up. I think it said he retired from baseball earlier this month. So he was with the Inland Empire 66ers for the first, 3-4 months of the season. And then for whatever reason decided to hang it up. I think that was like August 6th. I think it was reported when he decided to retire from baseball, step away from baseball. And then we get news of this, that Aaron Cox passed away, former 66ers pitcher, which I didn't know he was Mike Trout's brother-in-law. But now once you connect the dots, that's why Mike Trout is away from the Angels right now, tending to, obviously be with his family, be with his wife. That's his, wife's side of the family.
Yeah, take as much time off as you can. I mean, that's a tough situation. I don't want to speculate what happened, but it's a young man, 24 years old, passed away. Just a sad story.
Meanwhile, the Halos were still down in San Diego. Another win, another Justin Upton home run, too. They beat the Padres by a score of 7-3. Taylor Ward made his major league debut. He had an RBI double last night. Taylor Ward is from out in the desert. I think he's like a Palm Desert guy. Like he's just from down the road. So he made his debut with the Halos last night. Off to a great start. Big win last night in San Diego. NFL news. We're going to talk about this in our next segment. But Sports Illustrated came out with, probably the most detailed article about Sua Cravens that we have seen. Because remember, there was all of that speculation of why he didn't want to play football. Did he want to play football? Did he want to retire? It kind of puts a lot of things to rest, or at least narrows it down, I should say.
Yeah.
Great. It's a very long article. I read the whole thing. It's very informative, but still kind of leaves you with more questions.
Is he nuts? Is he crazy, Pep? I know you said it's the best high school player you ever saw, but is he nuts?
It's hard to say. He was diagnosed with what they call like the post-concussion syndrome.
Yes.
And his whole attitude, his whole behavior, the way he treated other people changed. And there was a significant event with his father that he wouldn't even tell the reporter. Nobody even knows. In fact, it says in the story that he told the Washington Redskins GM and their head coach this. They call it an incident, but nobody even knows. So they say between this incident and the post-concussion syndrome, he was I won't go all into it, but paranoid, anxiety, depression, everything. He was battling through it all and didn't know if he wanted to play football. So we're going to get into that. Very, very revealing article by Sports Illustrated. Very long, too. So if you got a good 15, 20 minutes, just kind of hunker down and read it. Very interesting. I'm a Sua Cravens fan, but it kind of explains a lot, yet still leaves some question marks out there. And fall season is here, and UC Riverside men's soccer will play their first exhibition match of the season. They're taking on College of the Desert.
Whoa.
The Roadrunners.
Isn't our guy out there?
Brian Silva.
B. Silva.
Yeah. Also, Desert Dan lives out there, one of our favorite listeners.
I bet he's hunkered down on a blanket watching the match.
It's going to be tonight, 7:30 out there at UCR. So our first taste of the, the fall sports at the college level. CBU is going to kick off the D1 season, era, I should say, with women's soccer on Friday, but UCR men's soccer in action tonight against COD.
COD.
You like COD?
No.
Is that what they have it like Long
no,
John
yeah, that's
Silver,
okay.
is that the fried fish, the fish and chips?
Yeah,
That's
fish
cod,
and chips.
right?
Yeah,
Fish and chips
I
is
guess
cod.
it's okay. I'm not a big fish guy. It's okay. If there's a lot of bread on it, like breaded stuff, and I can dip it in like ketchup, I'm okay with it.
College of the Desert should have been the cod.
The big
The
fish.
COD cod, right?
The desert fish.
There's no fish out there.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of bluegill out there in that desert.
The blue.
Rainbow trout. The COD bluegill. Love them.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the IE because they've been doing it right, treating their customers right. They've got all your sporting gear that you could ever dream of. Walk through those doors. There's a cornucopia of sports equipment for all sports, too.
A plethora?
Plethora.
A veritable cornucopia.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They've got it all. Helmets, pads, baseball bats, shin guards, cleats for your Murrieta AYSO, singlets probably, uniforms for your entire team at Ken Sporting Goods. KenSportingGoods.com is the website. Please check it out for yourself, and then you can walk through those legendary doors at Ken's where all the big-time athletes in the IE go, right there off the 15 freeway in Norco. Oh, that was a big, juicy opening segment, but we'll make up for it in the next round as we talk more about Sua Cravens and bad haircuts.
What?
In the NFL.
I know a lot about bad haircuts.
You don't know anything about bad haircuts.
Hey, every day I look in this mirror, it's a bad haircut.
We'll be back. It's the Inland Sports Show.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
How you guys doing? Coach Ray here. We're back at the BPC. Wanted to continue our movement-based mechanics here. We're talking about a back pedal. So today we're going to demonstrate how we program our back pedals, how we teach mechanics, and how we execute. Come check it out. So one of the first things I like to do with my athletes before we actually get into a back pedal is I like to work on the movement patterns of an actual back pedal. So what Cruz is going to do, he's going to get into a staggered position here. So let's go ahead and bring those feet in a little tighter, all right? And so what I'm looking for with that backward movement, I'm looking for a push off that front leg and then a step back with the back leg. So what we do to simulate that movement is we're going to do a step to a lunge. So you're going to go ahead and push off that left foot with the ball of your foot and you're going to lunge back with the right. So ready? Go. You're going to lunge it down and then bring it back. Good. Go. Give me a couple reps of those. And we're doing that step to lunge. So we're simulating that movement pattern of the back pedal. We're going to push off that front leg and step with the back. And relax. So what we'll do is we'll build off of that and we're going to go into an actual back pedal now. So go ahead and get in your 2-point stance there, our stagger stance, Cruz, facing the camera. All right, and all you're going to do is give me a quick back pedal. So we're going to simulate that movement pattern with a push and quick step. Here we go, ready? And go. Good, there we go, right there, bring it back. Go ahead and alternate feet there. And go. Good, so you take a look at the footwork here. Those first 2 steps, we got a push and a step. Ready? Go. Good, nice job. Backward movements, how we teach our pedals, how we progress them, right here at Boost.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cahelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cahelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
You know his name?
Steven Tyler.
There you go. Steven Tyler.
Because his daughter was in Lord of the Rings. That's how I know who he is.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady. Pretty
I don't know her
lady.
name.
Liv Tyler.
Liv.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna take old Smetty Smed, and we're gonna go down to Vegas. The Aerosmith. Standing in Vegas, baby. Hey, our guy.
Who's our guy?
What do you mean, Danny Fuller right now?
Oh, yeah, that is our guy.
Danny Fuller's hanging out,
hanging
out, driving around. You know, he drives around every single day from 3 to 6. He just drives around and listens to us every single day.
That's a lot of gas.
No, he doesn't care. He just, you know what he does? He goes by.
Does he know we're on YouTube? He can watch it. He can see your pretty face every single day on our Inland Sports YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button for us, Danny.
He could. And you know what? A lot of guys, though, are driving around the Inland Empire right now, listening to us. They make about 4 or 5 stops at 7-Eleven, and they get big gulps.
They do?
And they just drive around the IE all the way around and listen to the Inland Sports Show. So, Danny Fuller, thanks a lot, buddy. We love you.
He's the best.
He is the best.
What's up, Danny?
He's the best basketball coach I ever had. He was the first one I ever had.
You said that, yeah.
Best.
You learned everything from him.
Everything.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona. Check it out now because they are introducing a movement schedule every single day of the week.
I got a movement.
Not a BM.
Oh,
right?
sorry.
I mean, not one of those.
No, sorry. You said a movement.
No, a movement. So you can,
a movement.
You know, agility, being explosive and dynamic.
Dynastic.
You can only learn it at Boost Performance Training. So whether you play soccer, lacrosse, golfers, football players, of course, you too can learn this. You can dominate. So many cool things you can learn at Boost Performance Training. And again, it's all sports, all levels, youth, high school, college, guys going to the pros, all the good stuff. They're all getting better at Boost Performance Training. BoostTrainingSystems.com is the website. Give them a follow on Instagram and Twitter. You'll see what I'm talking about.
And ladies, Shelly Boudreau's there as well.
She just followed me.
She just followed me too.
I finally made it.
Yes, you are a superstar. But you got Ray Bass and Shelly Boudreau out there.
She's big time.
Huge stud.
Finally made it. I thought I made it on Chili Dog Sunday. No. Now I made it.
Shelly
followed me on social media.
Yeah, I feel very, very popular.
All right, so our guy, Sua Cravens, the pride of Vista Murrieta.
Murrieta.
So he was with the Washington Redskins, and it was a very rocky relationship for a couple seasons. He came out of USC. He was going to be a big deal. He was a second-round draft pick. One of those, they call them hybrids, you know what I mean? Like they're big safeties who can play linebacker. He got to the Washington Redskins, and he was supposed to be one of the cornerstones of that Redskins defense for a long, long time. And then things got sideways. And, you know, maybe it's unfair to compare him to Kawhi Leonard, but we never really knew exactly what was going on. He was injured. Did he want to play football? Was he going to retire? We heard all these rumors. And we only got little bits and pieces. And Sua, and he even kind of fessed up to it in this Sports Illustrated article, he was giving out cryptic messages. Like his mind just was not in a good place. He'd get on Instagram and Twitter and post things, and you're like, well, you know, what does that mean? What's going on? No one really knew what was going on. All we knew was Sua got hurt. He went away. He didn't come back. And then we heard, well, is he still hurt? Does he want to play football? We heard he doesn't want to play football. In fact, we heard he wants to retire. We heard all these rumors. So there's a very extensive article on Sports Illustrated about Sua Cravens, the pride of Vista Murrieta and USC. Jeff, it's a great read. And Sua Cravens can be wacky. But you know what? I got his back, man. He's gone through several concussions, and he's not the only guy where it kind of changes your behavior, your attitude, your mental outlook on life. So he's had to really go out and get some help, and it looks like he's finally in a good place where he feels wanted with the Denver Broncos, and I hope he flourishes here in Denver now.
Well, you know, Pep, I'm gonna pull the curtain back here a little bit about my history, my past as a basketball player. In my youth, and we've talked. You and I have had some nice long discussions on road trips. You know, I'm not the same person I was at 22, 23 years old. I'm 47 years old, and I look at my life now and I say I'm pretty level-headed. I think I have a good understanding of life and how you live it. But I'll tell you what, when I was playing basketball as a young guy, I thought I was the greatest thing in the world. I thought I was pretty good, and I was pretty good. But when you realize that the playing days are ending and you're immature You don't have anything really real responsibilities. I didn't have a family, didn't have a wife, children. You kind of go off the deep end, and it's a depression. I had to deal with depression. You know, I went and talked to a counselor. It took a while for me to grow up, and maybe Sewell Cravens is now at that point, and we've seen him. He seems lucid. He seems very well protected now. He seems happy, but it takes a while. He's still a young guy. Maybe he will figure it out. I hope he figures it out earlier than later, because I figured it out early. I had a young son by myself. I have a beautiful wife, but it took a lot of those things for me to kind of grow up, mature, and realize that basketball wasn't the only thing left. I mean, the only thing in the world for me. Sewell Cravens sounds like he's a very emotional guy. I was very emotional when I played. I wore every emotion on my shirt sleeve. Guys didn't like me. Guys didn't understand me. I think I was fairly smart, and I didn't know how to handle my life. And it took a lot for me to accept it, get through it, talking to people. Hopefully, Sewell Cravens did the same thing that I've done, and a lot of these athletes now today are being proactive and getting on top of the problems. Maybe he'll mature and be the player that we thought he would be. Right now, he's questionable. He's got a knee issue, but I hope they can figure it out, because he is a spectacular player, and he's a guy that we really like. I make fun of him and call him nuts, but I hope he does figure it out.
Well, Jeff, with that being said, what you just said, maybe you can relate to this. I know it sounds simple and it's a cliche, but it's nice to be wanted, right?
Very much so. And you feel unwanted when you're not in the spotlight, when you're not the guy. It's really tough.
And Sewell was going through a situation where he was injured, and then also going through, this post-concussion syndrome is what they're calling it. And, he's away from the team, and then his teammates start questioning if they even want him back and should he be back, and they don't think he wants to play football, and he doesn't want to be with them, in those battles trying to get them to the playoffs. At some point you're like, fine, you don't want me? I don't want to be around you guys either. Why come back and associate with you guys if everyone's turned if everyone turned their back on him, why would he re-engage them? And I think that's the place he was at. He had some other things going on in his personal life that he was struggling with.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, my personal life's, kind of in shambles. My football team doesn't want me. They said basically he had nowhere to go. He was kind of on an island. He was isolated.
Yeah, he's 23 years old. 23. If people that know me are listening right now knew the Jeff Gorham when I was 23 and what I am now, what I was at 30, man, I wasn't a very likable guy, Pep, and I was emotional. And I think I was probably because I had everybody giving me everything. This is yours. This is yours. This is yours. And then when it goes away, when you come off the bench, when you aren't feeling like you're a center of the attention, then depression sets in. And I could very, very much see this. He's 23 years old. Remember, he left USC. This is his second full season in the NFL. He's just got to grow up, and maybe he's talking to the right people. It sounds like he is. We saw him in an interview, I think, earlier this season, going before training camp.
Yeah,
and he seemed great,
smiling, seemed in a good spot.
He seemed happy, and if you can stay happy, talk to people, get help, be proactive. I hope that he can find his right way, and that maybe those bridges that he burned over the last 2 years, and even probably in college, I hope he can go back someday and fix those things, because that means a lot, because that shows your growth, maturity, and you hope that he can do so and have a productive career, because he's still only 23 years old.
Yeah, young guy, a lot of upside, a lot of talent. He's one of us from the Inland Empire. We want to see him do well, and it sounds like Denver's going to be a good spot for him. Hopefully he can put, a couple tumultuous years behind him where he was a little, I would say, misunderstood, and maybe ostracized a little bit, like kind of shut out. And now he's kind of hopefully got like a family around him,
And you go to one extreme to the other. He's in Washington, D.C. He's in, near Baltimore. That area is not the best area if you want to feel comfortable. You go to Denver. Denver is a family atmosphere. It's a family type town. It's a better place, to say the least.
When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to talk about bad hair. I'm not talking about Jeff.
Whoa.
We're talking about bad hair in the NFL. Actually, the Broncos, too. I'm not talking about Sewell Cravens. He looks pretty good.
Hey.
Talking about bad hair on the Broncos.
Yes.
And also the Rams. We talk a little Rams football when we come back.
And Jim Alexander's coming in at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, the scribe
of
the Riv.
He still writes with a feather and some ink.
Dip it in ink.
He's
by a candlelight.
George Washington.
We'll be back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, in terms of speed, power, strength, agility.
Easy.
Okay, go ahead. $1,000.
The Doors.
Hey!
You know why I know this?
I'll give you $1,000.
It ain't the Doors.
It's not the Doors?
Oh.
Who is it?
It's the Animals.
Oh, it is the Animals. Oh.
Man, I thought I got it.
You don't get $1,000. I have to pay Greg $1,000.
I thought it was the Doors, and then I got it. I was so proud of myself for a moment.
No, you're not that good. Neither am I.
So one of my best friends in high school, one of my soccer guys, his name was Morgan Shelfeffer.
What? That's
And
made up.
he used to always listen to the Doors, and I used to tell him, dude, who's this music? Sounds like you're going to the circus. Dun, 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 dun. And he's like, oh, it's the Doors. They're great. I didn't know who the Doors were, man, because I was hunkering down with Garth Brooks at the time. But Morgan Shelfeffer used to rock the Doors, and I thought it sounded like circus music.
Morgan Shelfeffer.
Yeah.
That's a
Greatest
weird
band
name.
ever. Better than Hootie and the Blowfish?
You do? You look like Jim Morrison. Hey, Lizard King, why don't you come jump off my roof into my pool? We'll redo it. We'll reenact the old.
Is that what they call him, the Lizard?
Yeah, don't you know these things? Where's he buried? Where's he buried?
Who?
As they say. The Lizard King. You know? Do you know where he's buried?
Oh, that's the circus music.
You don't know where he's buried?
Buried? Marietta?
No, he's not married.
Not Marietta?
Hey, no, he's buried in France. I think. Here's the deal. I don't know if you know this. There's a cemetery in San Bernardino, downtown San Bernardino.
I like where it's going so far.
Did you know that there's some famous people that are buried there?
In Bernardino?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there's a big one. When I saw this, with that, the guy played with Ozzy Osbourne, but he's not the biggest name buried there.
Who?
Now, what's the guy's name? It was look it up. I'm telling you, it was Ozzy's guitarist. No, Superman is buried there.
What do you mean Superman?
The original Superman, Steve Reeves, is buried at San Bernardino. I went and looked at it because I'm a big
he
Superman.
from San Bernardino?
No, he just was buried there.
Why?
I don't know. Go ahead. Randy Rhoads.
Yeah, not Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, no, not Christopher. Steve Reeves. The first Superman is Steve Reeves, the guy that was on the TV show.
Did he get murdered?
No, he killed himself.
Yep.
Oh, but Zach Earp.
Zach Earp Stadium.
That is the great grandson of Wyatt Earp.
Is it really?
Yes. The guy walks. How many grown men walk around with a handlebar mustache? Only Zach Earp Jr.
That's it.
Only him.
Just the one guy.
He went. Listen to this. This is a great story. He went from a teacher's aide to a teacher to
a gunslinger.
He's always been a gunslinger. To an administrator, to a superintendent of schools in Alvord.
A cowboy.
And then he kills people. He's a straight killer. He can play a mean game of poker. But yeah, Zach Earp. No,
got
San
a snake in his boot.
Snake in his boot. Well, go down there and to the San Bernardino. Look it up on their Wikipedia, whatever it is. Steve Reeves is the original Superman. Is buried Am I right?
Buried.
Am I right? Look it up. Yeah, see? There you go.
Look
The-
at that.
spitting knowledge. I didn't even have to look that up. I just knew
You
it.
just know.
And I knew Randy Rhoads was buried there. There's a couple other people buried there. A couple other rappers. There's a couple rappers.
There's no rappers.
Oh, you're wrong. There are rappers there. Trust me. Look it up.
in Purdue?
In Purdue. Big time. The guy got shot. Oh, mind blown. There was a funeral and a famous rapper was shot in the cemetery. Look it up.
Is
Kono.
that right?
I'm
Kono,
telling you,
Google
if I
that.
can remember, it's telling you this. Sometimes I got this, it's like a bunch of cats in my head, and they're just like running around screaming all the time. Yeah, and every now and then,
Yeah, there it
boom,
is.
boom, I'll remember something. A rapper was shot in that cemetery during a funeral. Mind blown. If I'm right, Pep, Kono, Greg, if I'm right, I'm a lyrical genius, and I'm pretty. No, but he got shot. Am I right? 40 Glock. Boom.
Wait, he lives on baseline?
Am I right though?
Wait, is that right, Greg Hollick?
Yeah, he's actually from Colton.
What's his name? 40?
Colton?
Yeah.
40 Glock?
40 Glock. He's from the Colton.
He got beat up by the gang.
But how did the scary cats in my head figure that out? I remembered that. And I remembered that Steve Reeves was buried there. I think it's Steve Reeves.
I don't know.
The original Superman. Look up, see if I'm right. Original Superman, Steve Reeves or Ken Reeves or something Reeves. Not Christopher.
So 40 Glock was at someone else's funeral.
Was at the
and
funeral.
got shot at the funeral, but he didn't
Bam.
die.
Those damn scary cats in my head just spit out some game.
Wait, Mountain View Cemetery, is that Colton?
No.
That's San Purdue?
San Purdue, right there
Okay.
on the corner, right across the street from St. Bernardine or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
Baker's.
oh, yep. I know
By
exactly
that
where that's
shoe
at.
place.
Yep.
The shoe place.
Good company.
Yeah.
Fiscalini,
Yes,
right? Yeah, it's not far from
Fiscalini.
Fiscalini Field.
And that other park where they were, there's the scary park, Succumbi.
Oh, Succumbi, yeah.
No, that's just
That's
down the
deep.
road.
That's,
yes.
that's close. It's
George
downtown.
Reeves, that's who it is. George Reeves is buried.
How did we get down
Buried.
this road?
I don't know. I
have
don't know.
no idea.
Scary cats jumping around my head.
Greg Holla played, not the Doors. Who was the other
That's
guy?
what it was. It was the Doors. It was Jim Morrison where he was buried, as they say in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Buried. But yes, that's George Reeves buried in San Purdue. Superman himself. Get him in the sun, and he'll revive like Superman.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars. You already know that. And they got weekly specials. 2018 Chevy 1500 Crew Cab, LT1, bed liner, alloy wheels, backup camera, power package, all the good stuff. You could be rolling around the IE like a big-time baller. And it's under $30,000. What a deal. And if you mention the Inland Sports Show, Jeff, you're going to save $500.
Man.
You can't beat, honestly, you can't beat it. If you want to waste your money, fine, go somewhere else. That's on you.
$500 would buy me a lot of bowls of soup.
It's a lot of Campbell's, Kansas.
A lot of, man, I love soup. Yeah, anytime I can buy $500 worth of soup.
Think about this.
It's diet.
Last time I bought Top Ramen, it was like 39 cents a package.
Yeah, and
That's a lot of Top Ramen.
Did you used to eat that in college?
Still do.
You don't eat it. That's
Yeah.
salty. You're not supposed to eat that.
Yeah, I like it.
Dude, you're my best pal. I don't want you getting hurt.
I don't eat it all the time.
I don't
But
eat
I
it.
do like it.
I don't
In
eat
fact,
salt.
I feel kind of guilty because it's obviously got lots of gluten. So,
Yeah.
so I cook my Top Ramen and I go sit in a corner where no one can see me and I eat my Top Ramen because I don't want my wife to see me.
Do you like those little peas that are in there too?
No, I just like the plain, just chicken flavor or whatever, just straight up ramen.
That's really unhealthy.
Extra gluten.
Even I, who eats everything, jelly donuts, you name it, I'll eat it.
You don't eat ramen?
No, I won't eat that.
Raise your hand if you eat ramen in this room.
You guys are all gonna die. Just to let you know. Yeah, you're gonna die early.
Bury's in Purdue,
You're
aren't
gonna
you?
be buried in San Purdue next to George Reeves.
If I do
And
pass away from Top Ramen,
Randy Rhoads.
if I do pass away from Top Ramen, will you one day on this very show say there's lots of famous people buried in San Purdue?
Don't ever. You know what?
There's the guy who played Superman. There's Pep Fernandez who used to do a show around
the guy
here.
that played with Ozzy
the guy who
Osbourne.
played with Ozzy.
I gotta know.
Randy Rhoads,
What's your favorite Top Ramen to go to?
Just the plain chicken.
Chicken?
Chicken or beef flavor. I don't
I'm
do
down with
seafood.
chicken.
I don't do any of that wacky stuff.
Hey.
No, no.
I don't dabble. Just chicken.
What's your favorite?
Yeah, I'm a chicken.
Yeah, you know what? When you guys all die of sodium poisoning, I'll just pour, like they do in the hood. I'm gonna instead of pouring out a big 40,
one for me, one for my homies.
I'm gonna pour out some ramen out of the styrofoam cup for me and my homies.
One for me,
yeah.
one for my boy Pep.
They're gonna go, hey, who's your friend, man?
Who's your homie?
And you say like 40 Glock, or you say,
No
I
one
got
says that.
Pistol Jim. No, I got
Pistol Jim.
I don't have Pistol Jim. It's what's his name? Pep. I just want to goes out to my boy Pep.
Real tough name. A lot of street cred.
Hey, your name is a palindrome, though.
Yeah, it is. So is Wairika Bakery. Think about it.
You told me that.
Think about it.
Race car.
That's another one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Gag. My initials. Yeah, you're a straight palindrome, buddy.
I am. Hey, we got to take a break.
I
We
know.
didn't even get to bad haircuts in the NFL.
Now we'll get to that.
circle back
We got
around.
plenty of time. We got 3 hours.
The Rams also mic'd up Sean McVay. It's kind of good because he likes to talk. We'll get to that later in the show. But when we come back, Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Hey, now we're talking.
Oh, this is one of your favorite groups in the
Beach Boys.
world.
When I was driving back,
I thought you were going to say it was the Monkees.
no, listen, I know the Beach Boys. You guys are rude.
Peter
Take that back.
You kind of remind me of
I'm
Peter-
offended.
You remind me
You
of.
guys offend me.
If you were a monkey, who would you be? I am Peter Tork.
I don't know the Monkees.
Michael,
We're talking about the
I'm
Beach-
more
this is the
Michael
Beach
Nesmith.
Boys.
I'm a Michael Nesmith guy. You? Who was the lead singer? Do you remember the lead singer? It was Mickey Dolenz. No, Mickey Dolenz was
Davy
one of the.
Jones.
Davy Jones. You're kind of like Davy Jones.
Okay. Is this the
Of course,
Monkees?
Davy Jones has been buried.
He's been buried for quite a while.
All right, we got Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise here in studio on the Inland Sports Show.
And I did not bring my quill today, unfortunately.
Dip it in
to
ink.
dip it in ink
Dip it in
and
ink.
write longhand.
Can
yeah.
you write in cuneiform?
Tell me what it is, and I'll tell you,
You know,
if I do. Probably not.
on the cave paintings of Lascaux.
Like hieroglyphics. Is that what you're talking about,
Well,
Jeff?
yeah, it's even before hieroglyphics. This was the first one in the cave of Lascaux. They had funny little forms in France.
No hieroglyphics, no calligraphy. I just ruined my hands typing. That's all.
Chisel? No chisel and stone? No tablet? But man,
I'm not that old.
No, but hey, you are the originator, the original writer here in Riverside. You are the only person we ever pay attention to because everyone else, no offense, everybody else is just a ding dong compared to you.
Thank you.
You're
I
a
appreciate
true.
it.
You're
That's
a
a
true
compliment. That's a
Now, I will
compliment.
take it as a compliment. The others can fend for.
That's
Yeah.
right. You're exactly
You know
right.
what? You're a journalist. Those guys just write. They write silly
Nonsense.
things. Nonsense.
Non
sequiturs. There we go.
The Inland
Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. You got to get your oil change anyways. Might as well make it an enjoyable experience. Great customer service, low prices. Spoiled. Off the 215 freeway right there off of
Alessandro Boulevard. All right, Jim, before we get to the real nuts and bolts of our conversation, I say Murrieta because I look at the front part of the word and it's M-U-R-R.
You're wrong.
So I want to say Murrieta.
Murrieta.
Thank
Do you say Muir?
Yes.
I do.
Why do you say Muir?
Because that's what it is.
You know Jeff says Muir, right?
Yeah.
Because we're right. You're from.
Murrieta.
You're from.
That sounds like a Northern California affectation.
From someplace from.
Murrieta.
Where are you from? Cottonwood?
The wood, man.
Is it Cottonwood?
Yeah, up to no good. Yeah, you know.
I never ever get it right. That's the first time I've got it right since I've known you.
You know what? I've gone to some CIF track finals and swim finals, and the announcer always says, now from Vista Murrieta. And I'm like, Murrieta?
No, it's Murrieta.
Are they okay? When you do that, are those people from Murrieta?
Well, that's a good point, Jim. Maybe they're outsiders and, they don't know.
Exactly.
So you say Vista Murrieta?
Vista
Murrieta?
Yep.
He's right.
Rolls off the
Murrieta?
Yes.
Murr.
No, it's not.
When you live down there, what do you say? You say, I'm from the Murr.
I say I'm
You
from.
don't say I'm from the Muir.
Yeah, I do.
You say I'm from the Murr.
No, I
you
don't.
say you're from Murrieta.
Murrieta. Come on, man.
Entire world.
And I'm not from Murrieta. I'm from the Fee now,
I know
buddy.
you're from the Fee, but
But
if you're
even
from
when I'm down there-
Murrieta, you're from the Murr.
I have lots of friends, believe it or not, and they all say Murrieta. You're the only one I know that says Murrieta.
Murr. Raise your hand. You say Murr? We win 3-2.
Well, no, but
You
guys,
just gave up the lead.
Hey,
You're
Dodgers
all
bullpen
outsiders.
guy.
Hey, you guys are all little guys. I'm bigger than all you guys. It's Murrieta, guys. And he's the scribe. Don't ever question the scribe or the big guy.
But you write it all the same. It's how you say it.
No.
Murr.
Okay, data or data, real quick. Data or data?
Both. Either.
Okay. All right.
Depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Listen, we're not going to solve the world's problems right now.
Why not? Come on. Isn't that the goal here? Isn't that what we're here to
It
do?
is. It
One
is.
last
It
one.
is.
Crayon or crayon?
Crayon.
Thank you. All you dummies out there
No,
that
I
say
say crayon.
Yeah, but
Don't look
no,
at me when you say
no,
dummies out
I was
there.
talking about Cullen and everyone else
Yeah,
in the
those
world
guys.
that say crayon. That makes no sense
They
at all.
must be from the East.
Yeah, they're dummies. Just dummies.
People from back there think we speak with accent.
Yeah, they're
See,
dummies.
That's
No accent.
No accent.
no accent.
We just speak correctly.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right,
As long
Jim.
as you say Murrieta.
Yes. Yeah, change it now. There, you've been outnumbered.
Who do
Murrieta.
we know that lives down there that can?
Brian
Yes,
Weathers.
Sua.
Brian Weathers.
Oh yes,
Ask Sua.
Sua Cravens.
actually, he might actually respond on social media. He likes those weird,
Yeah,
wacky questions.
We'll ask him to get him on the show. Say Murrieta or
For
Murrieta.
the Murr.
That's wrong.
He's from the Murr. All right. We're blowing through this segment like the Dodgers just blow through wins. The bullpen.
It's
Jim, what is going on?
You go to the ninth inning, and it's like, okay, how are they going to screw it up tonight? I mean, it's uncanny.
Now, putting a starting pitcher in the bullpen, and Kenta Maeda was trying to close, or pitched at the end last night, sounds like a good idea to me when you've got a guy like a Maeda or a Ross Stripling, and Ross Stripling's done a lot of bullpen work. Like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. There shouldn't be a huge fall off. The bullpen stinks. The closer stinks. They just can't hold the lead. Protect the lead.
My not-so-favorite story about this stretch. Monday night, I'm out there. I'm going out there to do a story on the bullpen issues and talk to my namesake, Scott Alexander, before the game. And he's the one guy to that point who had been fairly trustworthy in the bullpen. And I wrote an early column, had to be in by 9:30, so the game's not over yet by the time it's in.
So you talked to him obviously before the game, got the story in.
And I made the point in that column that this is the guy who should get an opportunity to be the closer while Jansen's out. So naturally, he comes in the game in the ninth inning, and the story's already on the page and everything. And he gives up, Kershaw's given up 4 hits in 8 innings. He gives up 4 hits in 6 batters. The game gets away again. I contact our desk, is there any way I can change this column? And they said, no, we're up against it. Just go ahead and rewrite it for the web. So,
wait, did you get
the original column? I didn't get any response. I didn't get any reaction.
That's what I was going to say. People would be like, Jim, did you watch the game? Like, you blew it.
I posted something the next morning on Twitter basically saying, because of the fact that the column was due in before the game was over, don't read the print column. Read the column on the web. Here's the link. But don't look at the print column because it's
What is the solution? What is the solution? Because Jeff and I have talked about maybe Julio Urias can be that guy. He's rehabbing tonight in the Kook. Could he be that guy?
I don't know. I mean, that's an awful lot to ask of a guy who's basically been out a year and is coming back from a serious shoulder surgery.
But Jeff brings up
to depend on this guy as being the guy that's going to bail out your bullpen. I don't know that you can expect that.
But Jeff brings up a good point. If they're going to try to ease him in, he's going to be on pitch count. They don't want to put a lot of work on him. Maybe he could be just a bullpen guy, go in for an inning and shut it down.
Well, I think that's what they have in mind anyway. But I mean to say that this is the guy that's going to reverse things. Like I say, that's asking an awful lot.
And then Stripling's had his issues.
I guess he had a back deal again, so I don't know what they're going to do with him.
And then tonight they're starting Ryu. You think that's a good idea? He hasn't pitched in a while.
Nope.
And they've lost 5 in a row. This could continue to slide. I mean,
if you are hoping that you can give your bullpen a break or at least a chance to regroup, this ain't the night to do it. Because I guarantee you, if Ryu gets through 5, it will be a major resounding triumph.
Yes. They would consider that a victory. Got through 5 innings, turn it over to the bullpen.
Coming off injury and not having pitched for however long it's been, it's risky.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, they're in dangerous ground right now. They're only 3 up on San Francisco. They could be, if they lose tonight, they're only 2 up.
This is for 3rd place. I mean, now they're looking up at Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a dicey time of the year, and this is where guys, their confidence level can slide. Do they need an everyday lineup? Is that maybe the answer? Because right now you're looking at Pep and I opened the show talking about this. Do you realize that the Dodgers and the Angels are virtually the same right now? The Angels only have 3 less wins than the Dodgers, and yet we're talking about the Angels being a fiasco, a rotten team this year.
Because the Angels are in a much better division.
Exactly, but. Man, just think about that. They are just 3 games behind the Dodgers in the win column, and yet we're still talking about the Dodgers playing for the National League West.
Well, and the thing of it is that they got Machado, they got Brian Dozier at the deadline, and you've got to think, okay, that's going to give their offense a boost, and they're going to score some runs. They're at least going to give themselves a chance. But, I mean, they have been – you've got Kemp, who's 3 for 54, whatever it is.
Muncy's gone cold,
been struggling. Machado has been in a slump the last 2 weeks, and they're they get guys on base. They're leaving guys in scoring position. They're hitting 100 something with guys in scoring position, I think.
Because I know.
So it's just everything's snowballing.
Yeah.
The offense isn't bailing the pitching out, and the relief isn't bailing anybody out.
I know everyone wants to point the finger at the bullpen, but you bring up a great point. Kind of hidden in this is the offense that has not been driving in runs.
What they could use is like a 12-2 game or something like that. A laugher where they don't have that pressure in the 8th and 9th.
Yes.
That may be the only thing that gets this turned around. Get a couple of those and kind of get back on their feet until Jansen can get back.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more with Jim Alexander. We'll talk more about the Dodgers. We also got to get to the Halos and a big high school football game coming up on Friday for Norco in Week 0. So it's kind of a interesting tale what's going on at Norco High School. I believe it's still at Norco, right? The Fires haven't pushed it somewhere else yet?
Yes. Yeah, last I heard, it is definitely going to be at Norco.
All right.
They will do everything they can to not move that game.
Exactly. They want to play it at Norco High School, and we'll explain that as well. Norco High School football, more Dodgers and Halos when we come back with Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here with Boost Training. We're here at the BPC and it's summertime. We have another Boost Training tip for you. This tip goes out to all the football players. You spent the entire offseason getting strong, putting on weight, getting bigger. Now it's time to make that sports specific and turn it into power. So these next few tips are going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so our first tip of the day is what's called a depth jump. This is a great drill to turn strength into power that you want to hit as you start getting closer to the season for an off-season football player. So what Cruz is going to do, he's going to take a quick step off the box. He's going to hit the ground as quickly as possible, get up, elevate, and he's going to land on the higher set of boxes here. All right, he's going to have his hips flexed, arms extended. He's going to hold that for a second. He's going to step back down. Here we go, Cruz. Let's hit it. Get up. Nice. Wants to hold that position for a second. Take a nice and easy step down. Depth jump. Great drill to maximize power. There you have it. Now we just showed you guys a depth jump. Now, one of the things that you can do to progress that and really take it to the next level, you can either elevate the 18-inch box here, all right, or we can elevate the landing box, all right? And remember, the goal here is to minimize ground contact and have a great counter movement, meaning when we hit the ground, we want to bring our arms through, all right? So just one of the things that you can do to make this more difficult and to maximize all those power gains. So that's our Boost training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at Boost_training and our Instagram at Boost Training. Grind hard, stay solid.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And Jeff Corum.
All right, Jeff, $1,000. No. $1,000 to Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise. Who is this, Jim? Can you hear it?
No. I don't. I'm not wearing headphones.
And it's not the electrical parade at Disneyland. I'll tell you that. That's one hint.
If he knows this.
If that's my only hint, I'm toast.
$1,000. Jim's going to leave $1,000 on the table.
I have no idea.
I've got it in my pocket right now. I will give it to you right now. It's in my pocket. Nobody mug me after the show. In my pocket right now. I'll give you $1,000.
You're not going to get out of here alive.
Linskog knows, I bet.
I know, Matt.
You know why?
This is not in my
Wasn't he in
wheelhouse,
this band?
Okay?
Linskog was in this band.
Yeah, but I think he's really good friends with Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. I know I'm going to get an evil text right now.
Jim, it's New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, that's right.
I am proud of not knowing.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Yeah, get off my lawn, kids. The New Kids. We're brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods. Since 1976, the Inland Empire has never been the same. All your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jackets, of course, they can do Letterman's jackets. They'll bling it out for you. All CIF, all league patches, they'll make you look good. If you go to Kin Sporting Goods, kinsportinggoods.com, or visit them in person. So many legendary sports figures in the IE have gone to Kin Sporting Goods. You could be next when you buy cleats or shin guards for your AYSO Murrieta soccer game on Saturday.
Murrieta?
Kin Sporting Goods. I'm from the Murr. Okay, we're talking about
You almost pronounced it correctly.
There we go.
Almost.
I might start saying Murrieta.
Thank you.
It's harder to say Murrieta.
It's not.
Murrieta Valley.
It's because you have a thick tongue.
Vista Murrieta?
Come on,
I don't
man.
find it difficult at all.
No.
Murrtown. That's
Yes,
what they call it.
thank you.
Murrtown.
Murr.
All right, we're talking with Jim Alexander, sports columnist, Press Enterprise. A lot to get to, a lot to unpack in this one. We spent a lot of time on the Dodgers, and Jim, let's close the conversation on the Dodgers with this. Right now, they're in third place. They're looking up at Arizona. They're looking up at Colorado. They're trying to hold off the Giants at this point. It looks like the only team out of this division that will make the playoffs is the team that wins the division. As of right now, do the Dodgers win the division when it's all said and done?
It depends on when they get Jansen back, first of all.
If they get him back, right?
I think they will. The way he talked the other night, I mean, he's supposed to have a cardiologist appointment Monday, and the way he was talking, if he doesn't have any side effects, blood thinners and what have you, he thinks he should be back pretty quickly. I mean, he's supposed to throw a bullpen tonight. He's getting back on a regular physical activity schedule. So there's only a couple more hurdles that he needs to overcome. But that's key. They need to figure out how to get to Jansen. That was a problem before the trade deadline. They said at the time, well, we think we have the people that we can fill those roles internally. We don't have to go out and get somebody. And that's been proven wrong. So, there may be a waiver deal coming. I don't know if they're able to make one, but I'm sure that they're looking in that direction. But I really think that when it's all said and done, they will win the division. But it might be like an 88-89 win division victory.
Because it looks like if you don't win the NL West, you might not get in.
Mm-hmm.
It might be only one team from out of that division. I've thought the last 2 or 3 weeks that the Dodgers look like a shoe-in. I thought they would put it together, leapfrog Arizona at some point.
I did too. When they got,
it just looked like it.
To the All-Star break, and then they got Machado, and then they got on a little roll after that, I figured, okay, it's only a matter of time before they start to leave Arizona in the rearview mirror. That didn't happen.
If Kenley Jansen could only hit, right? Wasn't he a catcher back in the day with the 66ers?
He was a catcher with the 66ers.
Could he hit, though? Do you remember back his minor league days?
There's a reason that he pitches now.
That's a negative.
Yep.
He did not hit when he was with the Inland Empire 66ers. On an Angels-related note, and this goes back to the 66ers, and Jeff, we touched on it off the top of the show, and this is part of the show where we get serious for a moment, that Mike Trout's brother-in-law passed away. His name is Aaron Cox. He was a pitcher for the 66ers for actually most of this season. He stepped away from baseball, retired just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, played 11 games, 24 years old, and just a very strange situation, to say the least.
So Mike Trout's already on the disabled list. Now he's away from the team to obviously be with his family. This is his wife's side of the family. But he is eligible to come off the DL as early as tomorrow. Jim, when you look at the Halos, Mike Trout with his wrist, Shohei Ohtani trying to get him back on the mound, I mean, is there a rush to do any of these things simply for the fact that, listen, they're not going to catch Houston or Oakland or Seattle. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, okay, the season's kind of done.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why you would want to rush him. I mean, especially with Ohtani, because this guy's got his career ahead of him.
Yes.
And I know that the whole thing is his ability to pitch as well as hit, but you don't want to take a chance on that. You don't want to risk screwing it up so he can't pitch again, or maybe he's out all of next season. You don't want to do that.
Jeff's theory is, and Jeff plays a doctor on this show, paging Dr. Gorham.
Yes.
His thing is, like, if the UCL, if he's going to blow that thing out, it's going to happen at some point, whether it's now or next season. So if they put him on the mound and it gets worse and he needs the Tommy John surgery, let's do it now. As opposed to, you know what, let's let him rest, and then he's just going to do it next season.
I got a better idea. Just
do it?
Just do it now and get it over.
Well, there's that. You can do that too.
If you're going to think along those lines, why waste the effort? Just do it now.
Well, Jeff thinks it's inevitable. And if you look at Garrett Richards, I guess you can make a case for this.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor. Like I don't know.
Heaney
but
as well. I mean, all these guys that have gone down with these surgeries. If you wait till the end of the year, my theory is if you wait till the end of the year, and he gets hurt next year, then you're 2 years out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go,
point.
I think you pitch him the rest of the year, see how that arm is. If he goes down, you do surgery in the offseason. He misses next year, and he'll be back the following year. But if he goes into next year and this isn't resolved, then you're 2 years out.
Well, this is something that the Angels have done with Richards. They did with a couple other guys, where they do this therapy, basically a stem cell therapy, I think.
Yeah,
with the idea that maybe it'll work. If it does work, we're ahead of the game. If it doesn't work and we have to do surgery, at least we tried. I think that's sort of the mode of thinking in the Angels organization, and this kind of fits with that. You're kind of rolling the dice, and just see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then you go to Plan B.
Because this season it's done. You know what I mean?
Pretty
Like
much.
it's not like the Halos are going to get to the
Pretty
playoffs. I always thought, let Shohei Ohtani kind of slow roll this rehab without, trying to avoid surgery, and then look at the playoff picture. If they were within striking range, be like, okay, let's roll the dice, let's put them on the mound, let's see what we got. But at this point, my thought is just let them DH. You'll have a whole off season to rest up. I don't know if that will make a difference or not, but it sounds like it might, just being able to rest that elbow.
Well, here's the question. Who's the next manager going to be? Because I think it's pretty apparent. The story came out a couple weeks ago, and Scioscia basically dismissed it, but he didn't deny it, as I wrote. And I think it's pretty obvious that they'll get to October. He and Billy Epler and Artie and John Carpino will sit down, and Mike will say, okay, I've had it. Or they will say, Mike, you've had it. But either way,
Isn't his contract
there's going to be
up?
a new manager. Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe
his contract's up. So who's the next guy going to be?
Because I was telling Jeff, I think
He knows who the next guy is, and it's a pretty good thought.
who me?
Yeah, you do. I think it's a good one.
I think it's all in the wording, because they said, Mike, are you going to resign at the end of the season? And Scioscia probably said, no, I'm not. No, where'd you hear that? But maybe there's a difference between resigning and simply letting your contract just run out, right? So, but I don't know if this is going to be true. But have you kept an eye on AAA and then the movement there?
Eric Chavez.
Eric Chavez is the manager.
I think he's being groomed to be the next manager of the Angels. I really do.
It was all very peculiar when the report on Mike Scioscia came out, and then all of a sudden, the Salt Lake City Bees, their manager got promoted to the big league staff, and Eric Chavez, who was like an assistant to Billy Epler, the GM, all of a sudden they're like, hey, you're the AAA manager. It's like, whoa. You don't have to work your way up the different rungs of the ladder in the minor league system. Boom, AAA, Eric Chavez.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got Chavez, you've got Brad Osmus in the organization as one of Epler's special assistants. You've got ways you can go. So I think they already have a pretty good idea, depending on what happens at the end of the season. And I'm pretty sure that this will be it for Mike. Which way they want to go.
What's your hunch? Who do you think?
Chavez.
Eric Chavez. Huh?
I would like for him, and I mentioned this, I would love to see Torrey Hunter come back and coach in some capacity. I know he coached the Futures game. He wants to get back into it. He's an ex-Angel. Maybe you bring him in to work with Chavez. Young guys, you go young and you start over.
You would need some sort of experienced bench coach, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for a first-year manager, you need somebody who's his Yoda, somebody on the bench who can guide him in the right direction and say, hey, I think you don't want to do that.
Do you think they come in and they clean? And once Scioscia does leave, do you think they clean house with the entire staff and they bring in their own guys?
Probably.
Hey, I just saw our guy Steve Wendt, the voice of the Inland Empire 66ers, kind of on a, I guess, semi-related note. Torrey Hunter Jr. was just added to the 66ers roster. You mentioned Torrey Hunter, right? As a
Love Torrey Hunter.
Possible replacement. So I didn't know his son was in the Angels organization.
Apparently so.
Yeah, I guess so. He's with the 66ers.
I don't know how much of a prospect he is, but
yeah. And the other son plays football, right? Doesn't he have a son that plays football? Or is that the same son? He's got
it's the same son.
Yeah.
The one who
Played
played
at Notre
receiver
Dame.
at Notre Dame? So he's a baseball and football guy.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of football. Big game this Friday night. Actually, there's a lot of big games in Week 0 coming up. Of course, Centennial and Chandler, Cajon and Helix from San Diego. Jim, but of all those games, this one has a very special meaning as Norco will take on, is it Williams Field?
It's Williams Field High School of Gilbert, Arizona.
So what's the connection between basically some of the founding fathers of Norco football and Williams Field in Arizona?
The head coach of Williams Field is Steve Campbell, who was Norco's quarterback for 2 CIF titles.
And his dad
is the son of Gary Campbell, after whom the field at Norco is named. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup Friday night.
And it sounds like this Williams Field is actually a pretty good team as well.
They won the Arizona State Championship. I'm not sure what division it was, but 2 years ago, 2016, they won state. So they've got a pretty high-powered program.
Norco quarterbacks on both sidelines.
Yeah, because Chuck Chastain,
That's
right?
right. In fact, Chuck Chastain told me that when he was at Norco, Steve Campbell, who was at ASU at the time, when he came back to town, would be kind of his quarterback coach or quarterback tutor. So there are a lot of ties, and there's going to be a lot of alumni coming back, and it's going to be pretty special. Gary will be there. Remember,
Chuck's dad, Charlie, was also the quarterback of Norco High School.
And see, that's the amazing thing, and that's what I'm writing about for tomorrow, that Norco, the atmosphere at Norco is unlike that of any other high school in Southern California, except maybe Beaumont or Banning, someplace that's a one-school town.
Yucaipa's kind of like that.
But this is as close as you get to it. And you've got grandfathers that played. You've got fathers that played. Their sons play. You've got, it's the center of the community on Friday nights. And it's just kind of an atmosphere that you don't see anyplace else.
And it's cool to see them kind of rekindle this, relationship with the Campbell family. Obviously, the stadium's named after Gary. His son's coaching a big-time program in Arizona. To bring him back to Norco High School to play against Chuck Chastain, the head coach of the Cougars, who also played quarterback and also led Norco to a CIF title. It just makes sense, right?
It does, and it's kind of neat and kind of fun. And I know that Steve did an interview for a story in the Phoenix paper, the Arizona Republic, and kind of acknowledged that it is special, and at the same time, this is a business trip, and the important thing is getting the W.
That's right.
And yeah, that's true. But when I talked to him yesterday, I got the sense that there is a lot more to it than that.
And Norco will reciprocate the trip, right? So next year,
yes, Norco will be going to Gilbert next year.
And I read in that same story, Jim, I'm assuming we read the same one, that Norco's never been out of state for a high school football game. It was in the same story that Williams Field was traveling out of state for the first time. And then next year when Norco goes to Arizona, that'll be their first trip out of California.
Yeah.
So, because when I think of Norco, it's a big-time program. I would assume they would probably played somebody else down the road out of state, but
not necessarily.
All right, Jim, what's next? What are you working on? What's top secret? I know you have like a little pouch and it says highly confidential, and no one's allowed to open it because you got all your big scoops and your stories in there. What's next?
If it was highly confidential, I couldn't tell you.
Nobody's listening. Come on, give us a hint. Come on.
I will say this. I'm not going to give too much away.
Little hint.
But I will be at the Manhattan Beach Open beach volleyball tournament.
Hey, so will every other red-blooded American man. Wait, that's not a story. That's just fun.
I'm not going to tell you who I'm writing about. You'll just have to find out Sunday morning.
So you're going there for work?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right.
What did you think?
You're just going to go
now, can college players play in this tournament?
I don't think they can play in this one because it's an official AVP event.
Oh, because I do know some beach volleyball players that are from this area that play college. Huh?
Maybe it's the same people.
The Witt sisters, when they had the hybrid tournament back in, I guess it was May, the AVP and the FIVB and all the other alphabet soup volleyball entities, they had kind of a combined tournament, and the Witt sisters from Cal Baptist played in that. In fact, I think it was their first professional beach volleyball tournament, and that was when they missed graduation at Cal Baptist
to play
in this tournament, and they won, so they got to come back and play a second day. So it was worth it.
They were All-Americans at Arizona,
They
right?
were
The University of
All-Americans
Arizona?
at Arizona on the
beach
beach.
volleyball.
On the beach,
And then
yeah.
came to CBU and played a season,
To play a season
traditional
indoors.
indoor volleyball, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Yeah.
All right, Jim, it's always good seeing you.
It's always good being seen and heard.
We'll keep tabs on Mike Scioscia and Eric Chavez and who's going to be the closer for the Dodgers. So many questions right now in Southern California baseball.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
I
even-
think we missed one. How long is Puig going to get suspended?
Oh, that could come down any minute, right?
Yeah.
Now they're saying that Hundley was the instigator in the whole
Yeah,
thing.
He was because he was yapping.
But
He
what
was
do you?
yapping.
What could you say to make another guy try to swing at you? Nice swing, guy.
No, you
Shoulda hit
could,
the-
you could say some things that would get him ticked off.
All
But
right.
the thing about that one last thing on the telecast last night, all hell's breaking loose. You know, Puig's slapping at Hundley and all that, and they keep showing shots at Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, what was that about?
The night before there were issues, weren't there?
I don't think there were any issues the night before, but there have been issues. in the
History,
past.
right?
There is a history.
Mad Bum.
Mad.
Was that the night you were there? Mad Bum against Kershaw?
Yes.
Great matchup
It
there.
was. It was. And the amazing thing is that both of them have evolved in pretty much the same way as pitchers. I mean, they're not guys that throw 95, 96 anymore, but they pitch. They can do things that can keep hitters off balance, and they've pretty much evolved to that next level.
Kind of like when I think of guys who evolve, I think of like Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, like those guys. Like
Yeah.
long careers, they
Yeah.
still find a way to get guys out, and they're still dominant.
I don't know.
Towards
I
the
don't know
back
if
ends.
Kersh will ever be a mad dog type, but
Uh-huh.
he's smart. He's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Jim, where can people find you online? Because we all like to tweet. Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram, but I don't post much stuff. I mean,
You hang
it's
out-
mainly for photos. And
You hang out in the dark alleys of Twitter, right? Late at night. That's where I hang out too. What's
Yeah.
your Twitter, Jim?
Jim_Alexander. And the website is pe.com.
You can hit him up. Tell him all about,
Do you still have a podcast that we can listen to?
I do. It's infrequent, but we will have one. The last one a couple weeks ago, John Barron of San Diego State. And,
The kicker.
The kicker.
Some love for the
And
kickers.
some highlights from Rocky Long Scrum. Not sure exactly who we're going to be doing next. It'll probably be sometime in September. But,
When's the
there
Jeff
may be
Gorham
some surprises.
podcast?
When's the Jeff Gorham Pep Fernandez? We want to come on your podcast.
You always come on our show.
Yeah,
when
we
we
wanna-
go on your show.
We want to be unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
You already are.
No. We're unrated version of Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham. No,
Jim doesn't have to worry about me.
No,
Are
are you kidding me? I just take it right to the edge. But in a podcast, you can take
Anything
it.
goes.
You can just jump right off and do a cannonball.
Not so much.
In-
Not if the podcast is being disseminated on our newspaper's website. No, we got to keep it clean.
When you
okay?
see me jump off and I'm grabbing my knees and I'm
Cannonball!
Cannonball! Let's go in there,
Yeah, I
Jim.
don't think the world's ready for that splash.
Jim, it's always good to see you.
We love you,
Likewise.
buddy. You're our favorite.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little Laker basketball, maybe even more Dodgers, and high school football right around the corner as well. It's your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Nobody gets the scoops like Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise. Good to see him in here. On his off day, hanging out with us.
I honestly, we've had a chance to know him over the last year, and he always is so. Would you say grace? Would that be a good? Would you say that
he's very graceful when he says, Jeff, you're not getting on his podcast.
Dang it!
He's very graceful when he lets you down.
I'm telling you, he needs me on his podcast. I promise I won't throw too many bad words, but I would love to just have a little fun. But if I'm going to do it, I got to do it with you, because Unhinged Pep and Jeff is.
I'm boring.
No,
you'll
really.
Be fine.
Every commercial break is not boring at all, my friend, and we are kind of funny, aren't we?
Aren't we? Question mark? I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, we're kind of funny.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Visit them online, catalanocars.com, or go check them out off Temescal Canyon Road. Save thousands and mention the Inland Sports Show and get $500 off. But only at Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. All right, let's talk It's kind of a segue, I guess, into NBA chatter. Because
yes.
Is Kawhi Leonard coming to Riverside?
I sure darn hope so. In fact, he's going to be part of the first Hall of Fame ceremony that Martin Luther King, we've said this before, the first Hall of Fame induction ceremony at Martin Luther King High School will be August 30th at 6:30 p.m. The public is invited. If you want to be in...
Wait, is that a Thursday night? Like August 30th.
August 30th.
Wait, let's do some math. So this Friday is the 17th to the 24th. Yeah, that's a Thursday night. Conan, what are you doing that Thursday night? You want to go
track down Kawhi Leonard one more time for us?
Not again?
Do my best.
Again? Kono and Kawhi, man, they're going to be like BFFs when this is all said and done.
We already are.
But the first three individuals that are being inducted into the King Hall of Fame is the first principal of King High School, Ray Plutko, former CIF commissioner and former basketball coach here at Notre Dame High School, and Nicole Smith, the great golfer, and Kawhi Leonard. So that is the first induction class. And once again, if you would like to reach out to KingWolvesAthletics.com, you can purchase tickets, once again, August 30th at 6:30 p.m. Make sure you check those guys out and buy tickets right now before they're all sold out.
King's a pretty young school, so this is their first Hall of Fame class. They've had some great athletes go through there already. No, it's an old school. Ramona.
Ram High.
Are you in the Hall of Fame yet,
I
Jeff?
am not. Yeah, I'm never. In fact, I ran into John Tibbles today. And
the
John,
athletic director, who
the
we
athletic
love.
director, I love
Ram High, man.
John Tibbles was one of those guys when I was young, probably hated my guts, but we've become very good friends.
Wait, were you guys friends as kids?
No, he was one of the basketball coaches. His first year of teaching, he was like 22 years old. He was on the staff. A coach for Tony Macy, my coach, and I saw him today, and he said, "You're never going to make the Hall of Fame, Jeff." He said, "Your brother might make it and your dad might make it,
but not you."
He said, "Posthumously, yes, you will be in the Hall of Fame." But I said,
as soon as I bury you in Purdue, we'll get you in the Hall, right?
That's exactly what he said. No, and I will say this. I do have to say some news that longtime Ramona principal Bill Vaughn passed away this morning, 2:00 in the morning. Bill Vaughn was very integral part of Riverside Athletics for more than 30 years. He gave a lot of people their head start in teaching, coaching, a great supporter of athletics. He will be remembered from his beautiful partner, Betty Jeffries, who was also the school secretary. Beautiful woman. My heart goes out to the family of Bill Vaughn, and he will surely be missed. And John Tibbles came over to Norte Vista today to tell me that himself.
Wow.
So thank you, Coach Tibbles. And we're all going to think about Bill Vaughn tonight. All right, there you go.
A Ram High legend.
A Ram High serious legend, probably the most famous Ram High guy of all time.
All right, let's talk a little basketball real quick
Oops.
as we close out this 4 o'clock hour on the Inland Sports Show. So Kyle Kuzma of the Lakers came out and said he thinks the Lakers are being underestimated. Here's what he said, quote, "A lot of people say we got a lot of different people, a lot of new people. But change can be a good thing. It is not necessarily always a bad thing. There's a lot of teams in the NBA that need to work on their chemistry. We are just one of them." So, Jeff, I mean, do you think we're underestimating the Lakers? I think we're kind of estimating them right where they should be, probably in the middle of the pack of the Western Conference, at least the top 8 teams. When you talk about the playoff teams in the Western Conference, I don't think anyone's saying they're going to be trash. I don't think anyone's saying they're going to win the NBA Finals. I think we kind of know what we got, don't you?
No.
What do you mean, no? What, are they going to win the whole thing?
No, I think they're better than what people are saying they're going to be. The Lakers finally have depth. They have these young guys. They won 30-plus games this year. They've added Michael Beasley. They've added Mo Wagner. They've added Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo, and Josh Hart has improved. They have Kyle Kuzma, JaVale McGee, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. They do Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. These guys are bona fide NBA players. You talked about the Lakers in the past. They had guys that we'd never heard of. They brought up and down through the G League, and you didn't have one guy, LeBron James. The young guys are a year better. I think Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma are on the
But are we underestimating them?
I think we are. I think we are.
Okay, when LeBron, Chris Bosh, and D-Wade got together in Miami, it wasn't like, oh, this is a pretty good team. They should make the playoffs. No, the conversation immediately was, these guys better win the NBA title this year. They're that good.
But they didn't, though. But they were 1 year away. What was the missing piece from that Miami team?
Mario Chalmers.
No.
Hassan Whiteside.
No.
Pat Riley? Eric Spoelstra?
They could shoot. They could shoot the ball.
Ray Allen.
There you go.
Was it?
Ray Allen was the guy that changed that team.
Mario Chalmers.
Yeah, Mario Chalmers. He's still playing, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. No, the difference was that they got a shooter. They saw what they had that first year, and they realized they needed a perimeter shot. They had Chris Bosh, very good player, but not a perimeter threat. D-Wade, never been a perimeter threat. Very mid-range game, athletic, and get to the basket. You have the pieces to be very good. You look at the Golden State Warriors. What is their depth besides their 5 guys? They don't have depth anymore.
No, that's true. Even this team last year that won the title, I would say is their weakest team because they didn't have a bench.
And look at who they played. They had JaVale McGee starting. Pachulia, he was the starter for most of the year. Didn't even play in the playoffs.
He didn't play off the bench.
Sean Livingston might be the only guy off that bench.
The best bench guy.
Yeah, and Andre Iguodala, the only 2 guys.
Yes.
But you look at the Lakers in general, they have 10 guys that can play. They have 4 or 5 great young players.
We're all excited about the potential of the Lakers, but I don't think we're underestimating them, right? I mean, like, do they all think they're just going to win the NBA championship this year?
but I think it's the same blueprint as we saw in Miami. They're going to play this year, and they're going to see the pieces they need. And guess what? The pieces they have now can trade for the pieces they need next year.
You'd be right.
Kawhi Leonard might just come on over and be a part of this Laker franchise without giving up anyone. So you could have Kawhi Leonard added up with this, and that could be a championship team.
Maybe Kawhi is the missing piece.
Oh, you had Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and LeBron James. That's a winning team. Boom!
When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, Dodger Baseball. What's up with Clayton Kershaw? We'll be back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
You're naughty. And then I take my naughty pet and I go. Oh! I killed it! I killed my sail!
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC continuing our series on building power. Today we're going to demonstrate a speed squat, and there's 3 aspects of this. There's a slow eccentric, an isometric, and a fast concentric. Now, concentric is going on the way up, and it's got to be fast and explosive as possible. So what Zach's going to do, he's going to get under the bar. All right, those thumbs around Zach. All right, he's going to go ahead and lift off. He's going to give me a 2-1-X tempo. He's going to go down slow, pause, then fast up. Good. What I'm really looking for here is bar speed. All right, that pause. And like I said, we're working 3 different elements of strength, right? We got that slow eccentric on the way down, that pause, and then fast up. This is a great drill to turn all that strength gain in the offseason to power. So like I said, this is a great drill that actually works on 3 different aspects of strength. All right, we got that slow eccentric going down. We got that isometric pause, that fast concentric going up. So while it maximizes power, we're still hitting 3 different elements of strength. We do it right here at Boost. Today's tip is all about the speed squat, and what I want to talk about is how we progress this exercise here at Boost. So we showed you guys a 2-1-X tempo that was going down for 2 seconds, pause 1, and then that fast concentric coming up. So what we'll do is over time, we'll play with the tempos a little bit, and we'll go from a 2-1-X to a 1-1-X tempo, going down 1 second, pausing for 1 second, coming up, or we'll go with an X1-X tempo with a quick eccentric, isometric contraction, and then we'll come up with the fast concentric. So a lot of different ways that we like to progress our athletes. Building strong and powerful athletes is what we do right here at Boost. Grind hard, stay solid.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. This segment brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. That's Boost Performance Training. Check out all their strength and speed classes, movement classes. You want to be fast, explosive, dynamic. Doesn't matter the sport. They can do it for all sports. Soccer, football, golf, lacrosse. They do it for all sports. Why would I lie to you?
You wouldn't.
I'm probably the most honest guy that you will run into today.
No.
I wouldn't. What do you mean no?
No.
Who? Well, look at the shady characters in the studio right now.
The whole day?
Shady.
The whole day?
Shady. Yeah, all day.
I have a 2-year-old. How That's the most honest guy in the world right there to me.
A 2-year-old.
Yeah, because he doesn't know anything about lying yet.
But trust me, you'll love Boost Performance Training. Follow them on Instagram, Twitter, boosttrainingsystems.com. So we were talking about the Major League Baseball playoff race earlier in the show because the Dodgers are in third place right now. They're looking up at Arizona, who's on top. They're looking up at Colorado, who's now ahead of them. And the Giants are now very close in the rearview mirror. If the season ended right now, here's how the National League would look. Your division champions would be Arizona, Chicago. That's the Cubs.
Home of the peppers and sausages.
Oh, lots of peppers. Braves. The dirty South, right?
Yeah.
The Phillies and the Brewers. Those would be your playoff teams. Phillies and Brewers would be the wild cards. The Dodgers right now 2 back of a wild card spot, but also, 2 back of a division title. So they're right there. I wouldn't hold hope, say, hey, just win a wild card. You just got to win the division. Just win the division and you'll be fine. That's how the National League looks right now. Real quick, the American League would be Red Sox, Indians, Astros. Those are your division leaders. Yankees and A's would be your 2 wild card teams. That's 5 really, really good teams. The American League is going to be a real battle for Middle Earth. Those are 5 really good teams. But in the National League, a lot of mediocrity. A lot of teams are very close. It's still very hard to say. The Dodgers, listen, the sky is not falling. They're in third place, but they're right there on the outside looking in of a playoff spot. They're right there. They're on the cusp still. I was looking at Clayton Kershaw's stats as a starting pitcher. Right now, on the season, Clayton Kershaw, the ace of the Dodgers, 5-5. He only has 5 wins all season long. The last time his record even remotely looked like this was a decade ago when he first broke into the big leagues. He was 5-5 in 2008. The next season in 2009, he went 8-8. And then history, was rewritten by Clayton Kershaw. After that season, he just tore it up. But his first year in the bigs, he was 5-5. Right now, he is 5-5, and we're coming down the home stretch of the season. Jeff, I don't put the blame on Clayton Kershaw. I think it's the run support. He leaves with no decisions all the time. He is only has 5 wins. He's 5-5 on the year.
Well, think of it this way. He still has 100+ strikeouts. His career ERA is 2.37. This year it's 2.47. So it's not that big of a jump going from his career to this year. It's unbelievable the run support that he has not gotten this year. Remember, his first 5 starts of the year, he got 0 basically. They would go on out and nobody was giving him run support. Teams were outscoring him. In fact, I think his first 3 starts, they only had 1 run in his first 3 starts. Tough to win when you have guys that aren't hitting the baseball.
Sometimes I think it's a mental block. The guys in the lineup think, well, Clayton Kershaw's on the mound. We're going to be in this till the end. He's going to keep it like a 1-run game. We just need to push across a run or 2. We're going to be fine. I looked back at Clayton Kershaw's stats, his career stats. Everyone says he's had a great career, and I'm not disputing that. He has. One of the greats of all time. But he's only had 2 20-win seasons. He was 21-5 in 2011, and he was 21-3 in 2014. So if you look at his career as a whole, outside of those 2 seasons, his record is pretty good, but not great. If you look back, it's not like he's got a 20-win season, a 22-game win season, a 23-win season, a 19-game win season. He's always hovering around like 15, 16 wins, and I blame the batters. I blame the rest of the Dodgers.
Yeah, and he's only given up 10 home runs in those 18 starts. He's only walked 19 batters, and he's already struck out over 108 batters. He's on pace to get 145 strikeouts, but his projected win-loss totals are only 7 and 7
on the season, which is crazy. 7 and 7 for the entire year. Now, if I just showed you, said, hey, here's stats for a pitcher, would you say he's a Hall of Famer, an All-Star, a good pitcher, a bad pitcher? If I just showed you Clayton Kershaw's stats, didn't put his name with it, sorry, not all his stats, just his win-loss record, just win-loss, you would probably look at his numbers and say, yeah, this guy's a pretty good pitcher. He's probably like an all-star every season. Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats? Probably not. But if you look at his win-loss throughout his career, you'd say, that's a pretty good pitcher. But here's where you can sway someone's decision. When you look at his complete body of work, all the stats, when you look at ERA, complete games, strikeouts, if you look at all his other stats, that's when it's magnified. Because if you just look at his win-loss record, you'd be like, man, this guy's really good. He's probably an all-star. But one of the all-time greats, a Hall of Famer, you'd be like, I don't know, he's probably pretty borderline. But when you look at everything else, you can see how great Clayton Kershaw is. The win-loss record, unfortunately, does not do it justice because simply he doesn't get a lot of run support. He doesn't get a lot of decisions. He doesn't get a lot of wins. He leaves games. His team, hasn't scored a run. He goes out with a no decision, maybe even takes an L. He's 5-5 this year. I blame everybody else. Maybe that's unfair, but I blame the rest of the guys.
Okay, you look at Clayton Kershaw's career, 149-69. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Okay, now that's
really good.
That's really good. I'm just going to give you some guys that are in the Hall of Fame right now. Is he better than these guys? Okay, Tom Seaver.
He's probably on par.
Guess how many wins Tom Seaver has?
300?
311.
311?
Yes.
He's over 300.
Yeah. Okay. Bert Blyleven.
Oh, he's got over 300, but he's better than Bert Blyleven.
ERA 3.31. Nolan Ryan.
No, Nolan Ryan's better.
No, but ERA.
Clayton Kershaw's ERA is better than Nolan Ryan?
Much better.
The Ryan Express?
Yes, 3.19. But he has 324 wins.
Yeah, I'd probably go Nolan Ryan over Clayton Kershaw right
now. Bob Gibson. You'll have the. He's right up there with Gibby.
Yeah, no, I'd probably take Clayton Kershaw, I think.
Greg Maddux.
Oh.
355 wins.
No.
227 losses.
Maddux was nasty, man.
But
the librarian, man, could bring it.
ERA still higher
than Kershaw's? What was Greg Maddox's ERA?
3.16.
I'd probably, if I had them head to head, I would probably take Maddux, which sounds crazy. Like, how would anyone pick anybody other than Clayton Kershaw?
Hey, just think of it this way. Maddux pitched during the steroid era.
And he still did that.
Everybody was dripping steroids out of their
sweat. And he still put up those numbers.
That 5-year period, 1993 to 97, was incredible. His ERA was 2.15 in those 5 years. He was incredible. Okay, I'm going to give you just a couple more. Roger Clemens.
See, I want to pick Clemens. I know he's linked to steroids. I want to pick Clemens, though, because he was absolutely dominant. Him and Nolan Ryan, like if I had to pick my top 2 pitchers of all time, it'd probably be those 2 guys.
And Clemens was shut down in the playoffs, too, which that's a big part of Kershaw.
Yeah, he's got that stereotype, right, of, that persona that he can't get it done in the postseason.
Remember the 2000 ALCS and the World Series? He had 17 shutout innings and just gave up 3 hits and 24 strikeouts.
Yeah, the Rocket. Like, if you told me who's the best pitcher of all time, I mean, I know that he's been linked to PEDs, but, man, Roger Clemens.
Well, I'm going to give you
dominant.
one more.
Okay.
Pedro Martinez.
I'd take Clayton Kershaw. Yeah. But Pedro is nasty, don't get me wrong. Like, he and Kurt Schilling were about the same era, same time, and they were unbelievable. But I think I'd go Clayton Kershaw.
Okay, I got to give you one more because this guy is we have to mention him. Randy Johnson. Got to go Randy Johnson.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the big unit. Yeah, big unit.
Yeah, because you remember in five straight seasons, he struck out at least 329 batters.
Which is insane.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's insane.
And think of it this way. He was 303 and 166. Had a little bit of a high ERA, but still he struck out everybody.
So if you're looking at Clayton Kershaw's stats, specifically his win-loss record, he's only 5-5 on the year. Don't get lost in the sauce, right? You got to really dig and look at those numbers, and you'll be like, wow, he is still dominant. He's had a dominant career despite, having, I don't know, his record on the season might be like 14-8. You'd be like, that's okay. It's pretty good. But look at the rest. The ERA, the strikeouts, the complete games, the innings pitched. He has been unbelievable. Great career. He just needs some help at this point. The whole Dodgers, the whole bullpen, everybody needs help right now for the Dodgers. When we come back, we'll talk a little NFL. Bad haircuts in the NFL. Talk about the Rams as well. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Eat my...
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. So, we're going to get to some NFL action and more baseball because we got another brawl. I don't know, maybe brawl is too strong of a word. Benches clearing do-si-do. Something of the sort. We're brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the IE. They've got all of your sporting goods and Letterman's jackets. KenSportingGoods.com is the website. Check them out in Norco off the 15 freeway. And how about Spoiled?
Quick quality oil change. You can spoil yourself in your car. You gotta get your oil change anyways. Might as well go somewhere where they're happy to see you with a big smiling face. Spoiled. Quick quality oil change off the 215 freeway. Just get off on Alessandro Boulevard. So we were talking about Yasiel Puig and Nick Hundley getting into a fight last night, Dodgers and Giants. Well, maybe the hottest hitter in all of baseball is a guy named Ronald Acuna.
Hakuna Matata.
That's right. You're darn right.
You know what I mean? No worries.
No worries.
No worries.
I saw... Wait, hold on. What are their names? Why am I drawing a blank? Hakuna Matata. Thank you.
Thank you, 12-year-old boy over there in the corner.
Is Kono here? Oh, here. Yeah, he's here. What was it? 5 straight games with a home run. 3 straight games with a leadoff home run. First pitch to Acuna, the leadoff man for the Braves, and he got plunked. He wore one right in the back. No, make no mistake. It wasn't like the pitch got away from the pitcher. Put one right in his back. It wasn't a brawl, but the Braves swiftly walked out of the dugout onto the field, and guys were holding other guys back, but nothing crazy. But yeah, another incident here in the Dirty South in Atlanta between the Marlins and the Braves.
Yeah, but honestly, when was the last good baseball fight we've seen?
Like a memorable one?
Memorable. I can tell you what it is right off the top of my head.
Is it Nolan Ryan?
Robin Ventura getting pummeled by an 85-year-old Nolan Ryan.
He wasn't that old.
Oh, that was a good one. He was in his 40s, though.
Yeah, he was pretty old.
Yeah, he was. Took care of him.
Oh. All right, hold on.
Oh, yeah, that's
if you're
a disclaimer.
Memorable fights, yes. When the old Don Zimmer got tossed to the ground. That was messed up. But, yeah, I remember that. So,
yeah, but you know what, though? That's baseball for you. I mean, you plunk him. He didn't hit him in the face. He threw him and hit him in his back. I would do the same thing. If I'm a pitcher, and I'll be honest with you, I was a pitcher when I was a little kid. I used to enjoy plunking guys. Is that bad?
No.
I used to drill guys as hard as I could, but I knew I wouldn't hit them in the head. I just do it as hard as I could. Sometimes I just throw it off the backstop. But still, you make a guy think it. You got to give him chin music.
Back him up, right?
Yeah, of course. Good call. I would do the same thing. Hit him.
We'll keep tabs on that Braves-Marlins game because, you know, if somebody gets hit and it's one of your star players, there's a good chance there's going to be some retaliation, right, by the other team. So we'll see what happens there. Let's move to the NFL real quick.
Fights.
So the Broncos do a thing with all the rookies where they shave their heads or do whatever they want to them. So the rookies get their hair cut by the veterans. And it harkens back to that old, remember that Tim Tebow photo? They shaved the crown of his head, the top of his head, so he looked like an old
friar.
School, yeah, like a Franciscan, a Spanish friar. Yeah,
like a padre.
Building the mission, yeah, like a padre.
Yes.
So do you remember that?
I do.
That picture is still floating around. It's hilarious. But the Broncos still do that with the rookies. They welcome them to the team by giving them really, really bad haircuts. I mean, because obviously the guys who are doing the haircuts don't know what they're doing. They just got some hair clippers in their hand. They just, hey, this will look good.
They're no Pep Fernandez when it comes to the clippers.
No. Look at my hair.
Perfect.
I cut it last night. You like it?
I love it.
Did some Riverside TV promos for their football.
Good. You look good.
Yeah. Jeff, did you ever go through that? I hate to use the word hazing because hazing has such a negative connotation now. But when you were the young guy on the team, did the older guys ever give it to you?
Yeah, I can't talk about it on air.
You
but
can't?
Yeah. No, of course not. But yeah, honestly, I could tell you one off the air. I could never say this in a podcast or anywhere else.
On the Jim Alexander podcast?
No, Jim Alexander would run if I told him this story. No, but hazing does go on, and I am surprised. I'm not going to lie. When I saw this shaving of the hair, I thought, man, who's going to step up and start ripping these people.
That Tim Tebow was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. But in today's day and age, when everybody is so sensitive, I'm shocked that made the media without somebody stepping up and saying it was.
I'm offended.
Yes.
How can you do that?
Yes. I mean, the times, apparently you can do certain things in football that you couldn't. If you did this in a real world situation, then people would be fired.
Hey, Kono.
Yeah.
It's your first day on the Inland Sports Show. Guess what we're going to do?
Shave my head.
You're right. Take off your hat.
Yeah. And Kellen, when Kellen comes back from Minot, he's no longer an intern.
Oh.
We're just going to shave him. Shave his whole body. Shave his eyebrows. No, I mean, honestly, it's...
We would look like Jeff's kids.
Does Jeff have eyebrows?
Kind of, right? They're like blonde.
They're pretty light.
For one, we're not sure they're my kids. And two, they're glorious, beautiful kids.
I would love to draw eyebrows on you, like Uncle Leo from Seinfeld. Just draw big, dark eyebrows.
Why are you angry with me?
Why are you always angry? I'm not angry. Uncle Leo.
Yeah, I tell you what, I had good hair. Everybody's been telling me because I posted it on social media.
You had?
It still do. It's still there. It's not like it was disappeared. I told you my head got bigger. I've just gotten smarter. You guys are nuts. I'm just a smarter guy.
Separated.
Yeah, it's just separated my head. I'm fine. How dare you?
Well, back in my soccer days, when I was a big-time soccer star, I made varsity as a freshman.
Did they haze you?
A little bit. So what they did was they took me, and the seniors took duct tape, and they taped me to the field goal post in the football stadium, because that's where we played our games.
Yeah.
And lucky for me, the girls' varsity soccer team had a game that day.
Oh.
So there I was, tied, well, not tied, but taped up with duct tape to the field goal post. The team that they were playing, not my school, but the other girls from the other opposing team had to cut me down. The trainer came over, and they got scissors, and they cut me down from the field goal post. And then I went to my practice, and I was like an hour late. My coach was like, "Where were you?" I was like, the seniors taped me up to the post, ripped all the hairs out of my leg. It was bad. He didn't care. He was like, "You're late. You're late, Fernandez, freshman."
Did it bug you? Did it make you cry?
No, but they welcomed me to the team.
They did?
Yeah, I earned their respect.
Hey, this reminds me, you're going to like this, similar to your situation, up at Cal, up at Berkeley, during hazing, Rush, where you have all the fraternities.
Fraternities.
Well, they decided to take all the guys who are rushing fraternities, and they tied them up similar to the light posts along Fraternity Row. Well, they did the same thing that they did to you, except the guys were naked and blindfolded.
Oh, that's a little worse.
That was a lot worse. Naked and blindfolded and taped to the light post. So people are driving by and honking and going crazy. and yeah, that was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen.
You did that?
No. Gosh, no, Pep.
You're too big.
No one would ever do that to me. I'm telling you
Who
now.
would try to hog tie you and strap you to a
anybody did that to me,
post?
I would swing until I was dead. There's no way. I have no problem being naked, but there's no way I'm being naked and tied up. No way. No, hazing knows it's kind of always been a ritual in football, college football. You can't do it in high school, obviously. In college, I say no to that. But pros, they make you carry your bags. As a rookie, you carry your bags in the airport.
Yes,
they do all that kind of stuff. But that's not that big a deal. But the hair thing, it surprised me a little bit that somebody didn't go, that's terrible. Oh, that's just wrong. Let's just send those guys. That's just wrong.
In the big scheme of things, it's not that big.
No, it's not.
Well, I've heard, and I know, Jeff, you have too. Obviously, you saw it. I know fraternities are a lot different than an athletic sports team. Yeah. But there's a lot worse things you can do in a quote-unquote hazing. And again, that term, it has such a negative connotation now. I hate just throwing it out there. But when the veterans welcome in a young player to the team, I think it's fun to do things that aren't, crossing the line. You know what I mean?
Yes, things aren't going to hurt
looking
you.
back, I didn't go home and tell my parents that I was taped to a post and some cute girls from the opposing team had to cut me down. So the coach made me run after practice because I was late. One day. Big deal. But the seniors, they all liked me after that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know where that line is, where you draw that line. But, if the Broncos want to shave the heads of the young guys, the rookies, let the Broncos do it. Tim Tebow did it.
If Tim Tebow can do it, anyone can do it.
That's right.
Anyone. I agree.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, I don't know if we're going to get to Sean McVay mic'd up at practice. We might have to save that for tomorrow.
Okay.
We might have to save it for tomorrow. It's pretty good. There's a couple minutes. I don't know. Maybe we'll squeeze it in the next segment, but it's pretty good. I don't want to rush it. Got to give it justice. When we come back, we'll have the Dodgers lineup for their game tonight against the Giants. So we'll take a look at some of those Major League Baseball scores from this afternoon because there are some teams in the West Divisions in action. So we'll bring you up to date on that as well. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
If you don't say you love the Dodgers, you might not get into heaven.
We
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. This segment brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bash. Athletes of all levels and all sports. Everyone's headed over to Boost. They can get better, explosive, dynamic at Boost Performance Training. BoostTrainingSystems.com. Follow them on social media. Julio Urias on the bump tonight at Lone Mart Field. You know, Lone Mart Field, anything can happen out there in the Coug. Last night we saw a walk-off grand slam. For Rancho Cucamonga, it was Christian Santana. Mike Lindskog had the call right here on Fox Sports IE.
They hit a lot of home runs. A bunch.
Like the launch pad.
You know, that's
probably the wind, right?
I think they're probably my new favorite team. More so than the Angels and the Doyers.
The Quakes?
The Quakes, man. Quakes. Best place to watch a game in Southern California, hands down.
Well, if you're a Dodgers fan, again, Julio Urias. Will he be the next closer for the Dodgers? Maybe. He'll be on the bump, though, tonight for Rancho Cucamonga. Listen, we want to pack Lone Mart Field. So you go out there, you pack the stands, you wear your Dodger blue, you stick your chest out with a lot of pride because, come on, you're in third place, but you're only a couple games out. You're right there.
Well, yeah, today is bring your animal to the ballpark.
Bring your animal. So if I got like a...
Is it dog or what if I have a lizard? What if I have a big ass lizard? A ferret. They're illegal in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll confiscate my ferret. But no, I'm gonna bring.
Yeah, if you roll in with your cat on a leash, Jeff, I will slap you Yasiel Puig style.
My cat. my.
If Jeannie's on a leash and you come waltzing into Lone Mart Field with a cat on a leash,
Jeannie, my cat Jeannie throws up everywhere. No one wants it. It's always if I wake up in the morning and I go, oh, please don't step in any. I just stepped in.
Stuff?
Why does it look like hair and food? Nothing worse. Seriously, I am at the point now where I look at my cat, and I love Jeannie. Jeannie's a wonderful cat. She's like 15 years old, I guess. But, man, I'm really thinking about throwing her in my pool.
What?
I'm going to
Cats
throw her.
Don't like water, though.
There's a reason I'm throwing her in the pool.
Oh, it's messed up.
Oh, it's just I'm so tired of cleaning up poop, and I'm tired of stepping in, you know.
Yeah.
Jeannie is there for me. Jeannie is my little pillow.
Why don't you could take her to the Quakes game tonight?
And she can throw up all over Lindskog.
What is it? Bark at the park? Is that what they call it? Or
I'm gonna bring a snake or something. I'm gonna bring some exotic. Remember, I used to have alligators. A skunk. Hey, I'm telling you, when I had an alligator, I used to carry that sucker around. People were like, "Oh, that's cool." But yeah,
cool guy.
Come pet its head. Come mess with its mouth.
Yeah. See how that feels.
Oh yeah, he used to put rubber bands on his mouth. Yeah.
See how that goes for you.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, Urias on the bump tonight for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. It's also bring your dog to the park night. In fact, you know what? The last time I was there, Jeff, it was also another one of those bark at the park nights.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, I wasn't with you. I was shooting some video, but it was also one of those. Did they have them a lot, Greg Holla? Like those dog nights, bark at the park?
Guys, I'll be honest. I don't think I'd go to that night.
It was awesome.
It's not you.
No. I'm serious. Like big Akitas and Huskies, like beautiful dogs. Beautiful, Jeff. There's no cats on leashes, though. You'd be the first. I can see you just waltzing into Lone Mart Field. Hello.
With a cigarette on a stick. You know those real long ones?
Hello. What do they call those things like Mr. Peanut wears in his monocle? Hello, it's me.
Hey.
Hello, Lone Mart Field.
But if I did come in with a dog and a monocle, a greyhound, walking in with a greyhound,
fast. Yeah, I like those.
Fast, cool, and fast. You can't let a greyhound just off his leash.
No, you don't let him off his leash.
What do you do with this?
Lindskog has rules at Lone Mart Field. If you go to a Quakes game, if you bring your dog, it's not like a dog park. You just take him off the leash and let him go.
I don't know if I think that's a good idea.
You keep him on the leash the whole time.
But don't people get bit and stuff?
Never.
Oh, bull.
You'd be the first.
No, see, I think that I don't want to hang out at a game with a bunch of dogs.
If you bring a cat, you'd be the first one to get bit. No, everyone's fine. Why would you bring a mean dog to a baseball game?
Why would you bring a dog to a baseball game unless I'm watching my kid play
It's
t-ball?
my two favorite things in the world. Big, nice, fluffy dogs and baseball.
But that's a horrible concept.
No.
I'm sorry, Lindskog, and
Every
everyone.
Wednesday.
All these guys do this. I think it's a good. I don't want to hear dogs barking while they're while I'm hearing
It's
Lindskog's
awesome.
voice.
It's pretty cool.
It's not cool.
Try it.
I like Thirsty Thursdays. And you bring a can of soda, you get a free ticket.
Notice how they never do a bark at the park on a Thursday, though.
Because it's
Have they
Thirsty
done that?
Thursday.
They're like beer and dogs together. I don't know if this is going to work.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Do you want the Dodgers lineup?
Yes, sure.
I have waited 2 hours and 47 minutes.
I got to change. Is it changed again for the 120th
Not really.
time of the year?
Not really. The Dodgers lineup changes every single night, and now it looks basically the same. But this is the time of the year. It's like, man, you need to do something different, right? Because it's not working. You guys are losing games. You're not scoring runs. Do something different. Now it looks very similar. Here's your Dodgers lineup. My favorite part of the Inland Sports Show every single day, as they take on Los Gigantes anoche. Leading off at second base, Brian Dozier. Hitting second at third base, your boy, red turn 2, JT, Justin Turner. Hitting third at short, Manny Machado. In the cleanup spot, the All-Star, Matt Kemp in left field. Hitting fifth, kind of a little change here, Chris Taylor. Again, somebody give Chris Taylor a ribbon, a prize, a medallion to hang around his neck. One day he hits leadoff. The next day he's hitting fifth. The next day he's hitting eighth. The next day he's not playing. Then he's at short. And then he's at second. Then he's at left field. Then he's in center field. Then he's back at second. Somebody give him like a medal, like a gift card somewhere, right?
I don't like it. I don't like him moving around.
Hitting sixth at first base, Kike Hernandez. You're out, Bellinger. You're out, man. No Muncy either. In right field, Yasiel Puig. I guess he was not suspended yet, right? He's going to slap somebody up tonight. Behind the plate, none better than the Riverside Poly Bear himself, Austin Barnes. He will be catching Mr. Meat Off the Bone, Hyunjin Ryu, who had that nasty groin injury where muscle came right off the bone. But now he's back. He's going to be throwing BBs. He pitched it for the Coop, didn't he? Rancho Cucamonga. He looked good.
Did he pitch twice or
He
just
pitched
once?
at the Cook, and then he was at Oklahoma City, AAA for a little bit.
That's right.
So that is your lineup. So Austin Barnes will be handling Hyunjin Ryu tonight as he's back, and hopefully he can spark something for the Dodgers. Hopefully he can. I know they're not going to let him work long because they're trying to ease him back in, but, man, they need to try avoid the bullpen at all costs at this point, right?
Yes. I have something to tell you real quick before we get to this. Kobe Bryant just invested $6 million into that some sports drink. What's it, Body Armor or Under Armour?
That's the Mike Trout drink.
Yeah. Do you know how much he invested? $6 million.
Okay.
Guess how much it is worth now?
How much is worth?
He's golden. He is golden.
Wait, because he invested in it, it's worth more?
Well, he's on his $6 million investment. His return now is $200 million.
Shut up.
Right there.
Wait, when did he invest in this? When did he put that $6 million in?
He put it in March 2014. He put in $6 million, and now his stake is worth over $200 million.
Dang, hate my life. Okay, couple quick baseball scores. The Astros are beating up on the Rockies 6-0. That's great news. We want Colorado to lose, right?
Yes.
Astros on top of the Rockies right now, 6-0 already only in the second inning. And one other quick baseball note: the pride of Yucaipa High School, Matt Davidson, his 17th home run of the season for the White Sox. The White Sox beat the Tigers 6-5. Another Yucaipa T-Bird doing it big in the big leagues. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up and get you all set for Mike Lindskog and the Quakes. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Turn up the rally music. We're going to wrap this thing up. Quakes baseball right around the corner. 6:50 pregame with Mike Lenskog and Andrew Chapman. Who knows what will happen at Lone Mart Field tonight? Last night, it was a walk-off grand slam. It was a game for the ages. They're going to write books about that game one day. Tonight is Julio Urias of the Dodgers. On the bump, on the mound, on the hill. Trying to rehab, get back to the Dodgers, and they need him. I'm sure the Dodgers right now saying, come on, Julio. Look good. We need you. Get back in the bullpen or be the closer. Something.
What if they lose 6 in a row, Pep?
Dun, dun, dun.
Can't bear to face it.
Dude, then the Giants are going to be within striking distance.
So if you hear the sirens going off, it's not a tsunami warning. It's the Dodgers have lost another game.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, we're talking. I know Jim Alexander thinks that the Dodgers are still going to make the playoffs. I'm not so sure about that. I think their bullpen is shoddy, and they're not getting enough production when they have their stud starting pitchers. I'm not sold. I hope they do, but I'm not sold.
Me too. 2 weeks ago, I'm like, done deal. Dodgers are a playoff team. Right now, I don't know, kind of second guessing everything in my life, including the Dodgers.
And I just found this out, dude. Did you know the A's are only 1 game back in the AL West?
Yes.
Yes.
Where have you been, Kono?
1 game.
Yes.
Astros. I was just sitting on my. I was on my high horse as an Astros fan. I was like, and then I look to my left and I see
A's
some
are nuts.
green.
No, I think it was before he got in here. But yes, the A's are unbelievable. Urias on the bump tonight, Lone Mart Field. Check them out. The Quakes taking on Lake Elsinore tonight. Tomorrow, more high school football. We're efforting Dennis Brown, the new head football coach at 3rd and Chicago, JW North. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. The one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Bye.